Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PUDcast with Jason and Mike. I'm Jason.
And I'm Mike.
And we're coming to you from the Pud Cave located in the bowels of Game Swap here in beautiful downtown Lincoln in the great state of North Carolina. Mike, what's going on, brother?
Not a whole lot, man. It is a chilly Sunday morning.
Dude, fall hit for real.
It's here.
Talk about a Pearl Harbor.
Fall.
I mean, man, that was a swerve. Mother Nature been swerving us, bro.
About 30-something degrees this morning.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was cold, dude. I actually left to go grocery shopping in my sleeveless like I always do. And I was like, oh, shit. You know, I got to go in and get the old hoodie, man. I had to break it out, brother.
It's here. We're breaking out the Christmas tree next week.
I know, brother. I know. Halloween's right, coming up on us. And, well, we got a couple, Halloween-themed shows that we've been planning on. One we got today. We're actually going to be reviewing Halloween Havoc 1989, Mike Payne, the original, brother, the one that started it all.
Yeah, exactly, man.
And really the first, I guess, Halloween-themed super card pay-per-view. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, like the holiday.
Right.
Yeah, I would say for sure. Anything having to do with that.
It definitely, man, was kind of the beginning of, and really it was really the beginning of WCW starting to branch out into doing more pay-per-views.
Right.
Because I believe this may have only been the third or fourth one. Because I know they had Starrcade, the Bunkhouse Stampede, and I think this may have been the third.
On the Bash.
The Bash, you're right, bro. You're right,
yeah.
You're right. But this was definitely around that time when WCW, obviously at this point, had been bought out by Ted Turner.
Right.
Crockett was now in the past. So this was definitely them, beginning to match the WWF as far as pay-per-views per year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they were going head up, competition with each other. Because I don't think at this time WWF had anything in that October slot.
I don't believe so.
I know they had, their SummerSlam.
Right. Survivor Series in November.
Series in November.
Right.
So, yeah, they were shooting for, they were going towards more monthly pay-per-views.
Right. And, man, a lot of people don't realize, and obviously, we're just talking here. I don't ever, really research anything or prepare. We just kind of come in raw. But if I'm not mistaken, this was also a kind of a big deal behind the scenes as far as the pay-per-view companies go.
Yes.
Because I know even this week when I went back and rewatched Halloween Havoc, they would talk about, we hope that you're watching on these cable systems, and we hope that you get to watch Starrcade, which was going to be their next pay-per-view on this cable system. And the way I understand
and that was going to be in December this time.
Right, the next month.
Yeah.
And so...
December.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
It was going to be in November.
Halloween is still in October.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because traditionally Starrcade was in November.
That's right. And Mike, I'm not 100%. Once again, I don't know anything. But I think this may have been either the first or second year the Starrcade was not on Thanksgiving.
I want to say, if I'm not mistaken.
And Puds. Hell, we didn't say nothing about Pudsworth, bro. Oh God. I fucked up, bro.
Are you in here?
Well, I guess since he was running a little late this morning, we forgot he was here. All the way from Huntingham, England.
Right.
The one and only Sir Ian Pudsworth is going to be helping us out today. What's up, Ian? I'm sorry, Puds, brother. I'm, you know how it is. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just a little chilly, that's all.
It is a little cold.
Oversleeping, so.
Yeah, we know.
Too many pints last night.
Well, I figured, man, with your English blood, you'd be used to this.
One too many less.
Whatever that means.
It's an English thing, which I'd also would think.
That's some slang.
That's that English speak. Speak American, not English. God almighty. But I would think with your English blood, you'd be used to this cold weather, Sir Ian Pudsworth. But
no, you get used to the cold.
hey, man, no, that's for sure, brother. I'm with you. But sorry about not getting to you, brother. And Mike, I did, bro. I jumped the fucking gun, man. I just went right into the show.
Oh, yeah.
God, I got a whole notebook full of shit I want to talk about.
Well, I tell you what, let's get into this thing, and we'll just come back.
We'll circle back.
We'll circle back around with everything.
Because there is there's one major announcement I want to make, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me go ahead and knock that out of the way.
Let's save that.
Save it.
Let's give that one a little bit of time at the end.
Can let it breathe. Yeah. Let it breathe.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we already in the subject, man.
We in it.
Let's jump the gun.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Halloween Havoc 89, October 28th, 1989, at the Philadelphia Civic Center.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia is huge for the NWA.
Yeah.
And this is actually a WCW production,
Right.
but it's still under the NWA banner.
Exactly. This was during that transitional period, you know,
Yes.
between Jim Crockett Promotions and Ted Turner.
Right.
You know, it was labeled WCW.
Yes.
Even on the artwork, it has WCW Presents Halloween Havoc,
Yes.
you know, in 1989. But it was under the banner.
Yeah.
And the championships were still considered NWA
Yes.
championships.
Yes.
You know, definitely a very confusing time as a young wrestling fan, Mike. You know, when I was younger and watching this stuff, I really didn't know, because, you know, you also had the Wrestling Network.
Right.
You remember that?
Yeah, the Wrestling Network.
That was a little before this show. That was probably around 88, give or take, I believe.
And of course, you had, like, you know, the Saturday shows
Right.
that were also called, you know,
WCW. Or,
WCW World Championship Wrestling.
right.
And they have been called that for years.
Right. In fact, man, you know, I took a screenshot of this. Sometimes one of my little hobbies when I would be bored watching wrestling, I would take screenshots of cool wrestling pictures on my computer screen. And I actually took one of Magnum TA wearing, when he was active. You know, this was before his car accident. But he's wearing a polo shirt that has WCW
Right.
on it,
Yeah.
you know, for the Saturday night show.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, man, it was a little confusing
Yeah.
to me as a wrestling fan. As you know, I was about 14 at this time, and I'm like, hey, is it WCW? Is it NWA?
Yeah.
You know, why am I seeing WCW on the ring skirts, but I'm seeing NWA on the titles? It was a little confusing, man. You know, and obviously at that
That's
age.
right.
And given that we didn't have internet and things like, hey, you know what? I didn't know it was being bought out.
Right,
I didn't
yeah.
know.
You know, or the politics behind any of it, you know. We weren't aware of that.
No. We just one day it's NWA, and the next day it was WCW,
Oh,
and then
well.
about a year later it kind of started sucking. I mean,
Yeah.
I started watching more WWF,
Yeah,
you know, around that
exactly.
time. And you know, Mike, one thing I want to say about this card before we actually start breaking it down, one, or I should say two elements that are really missing from WCW at this time were Arn and Tully.
Well, I would say even three.
Let's hear the other one.
Arn, Tully, and Dusty.
Dusty. How did I miss Dusty, brother? You're right, man. All three of these huge NWA performers are gone.
Yeah.
And you could feel it. I mean, it
Yeah.
was still a solid card. I know we're going to talk about it, give it an overall rating toward the end of the show. Solid card, man. Great matches, great talent. But, man, going back and rewatching this, you really see how much, at least, you know, for me originally thinking of those two, but you're absolutely right, Mike. You got to put Dusty up there as well.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah. Well, let's get started with this thing. On the announce team is Jim Ross and Bob Caudle. Bob Caudle's still with the company.
Yes, and
which is fantastic because I am a huge Bob Caudle fan.
You know, Mike, I know we've talked about in the past, and obviously we'll go and do a podcast on this, on announcers and commentators one day. You know, that's definitely a podcast, or a podcast if not a series. But I know we've talked about in the past, Bob Caudle, in my opinion, without a doubt, was the voice of professional wrestling.
Yes.
The absolute greatest to ever live, in my opinion.
Right.
You know, and you have him and JR, who is kind of widely known to be the greatest of all time. Well, brother, I mean, this commentating team was on fire, but
this was,
but there was some screw ups.
Right, there were some definitely some
some drop balls.
It's live.
It was live.
It's live.
One thing about JR that I will say, going back and once again, I'm a huge JR fan. Always have been a huge JR fan. He started getting a little redundant with all of his knowledge.
He had a ton of knowledge, and he was putting it out there. Especially the guys, I would say probably a lot of the guys he had worked with in UWF, with Watts' UWF.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, especially at that time, Mike, we never had a lot of history lessons on our professional wrestling from our commentators.
Right.
You know, most of these guys, especially the WWF, would try to pretend like they didn't even have a history. Period.
Yeah.
And even the MWA and Crockett, for the most part, they may acknowledge the history, but they really didn't bring it up. It wasn't in the main storylines. It wasn't something to be brought up. But
they would bring up, you know, if somebody was a former world champion, you know, even if it wasn't their NWA world champion, they were you know, like Superstar Billy Graham. They acknowledged he was a former world champion. He didn't come out and say WWF or WWF champion. But yeah, you know, they would acknowledge the fact that, hey, this was a former world champion.
Or if there was a feud, you know, that carried over from another territory. These guys are no strangers to each other. They've had some battles in the past where WWF would just be like, yeah, we don't know these guys. You know, but
this guy's fresh.
Yeah, but JR took that And brother, he ran with it.
Oh yeah.
Which was cool
Yeah.
because it was new, it was fresh, and it showed
Yeah.
how I guess just educated Jim
Yeah,
Ross is, how
for
knowledgeable Jim Ross is. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, nerd, I get it.
I
I mean, really, man.
at that time, wrestling fan, I did not care, one way or the other if this was a college,
Yes,
you know.
I didn't care if they played football. I didn't care how much they weighed when
Yeah.
they first broke in. I get it, and
Right.
it's awesome, and it was like I said, it was a display of Jim Ross's overall knowledge, which we
It was
know.
huge. I mean,
yeah,
it was super huge.
but it's like you can turn it down,
Yeah.
man.
Oh yeah.
It's
He was-
like,
he
come on,
was-
nerd.
He was Mike Tenay before Mike Tenay was Mike Tenay.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, Mike Tenay straight up was kind of biting a little bit, but there was something. I like Mike Tenay's style a little better though when it
Really?
came to that particular presentation. In other words, I think
Oh,
Jim
my
Ross
God.
is a better wrestling commentator. But I think as far as giving that back history and that what I call schooling,
All right.
I think Tenay was a little bit better at it as far as that goes.
It's hard for me to stomach Tenay at
So,
times.
really? I
Yeah.
always liked Tenay. I thought Tenay was all right. I was a fan.
Yeah.
I was a fan. Once again, just like JR, he was very knowledgeable, knew his stuff, but I think JR just was a better wrestling announcer overall.
Well, let me ask you this. With Bob Caudle and Jim Ross announcing, do you think that it's definitely missing that heel color commentator?
Yes, I do. I think there was something, but not to the point to where it like killed the show or
Right,
anything.
right.
It's
Yeah.
not a deal breaker.
Yeah.
But I do like that little interaction. But Crockett never had that a lot anyway. Not
Well, you had
really.
Tully in 84, 85 would do some color commentary.
Cornette would do some.
Cornette would do a lot of it.
you
I
know.
love listening to
Oh,
Cornette.
Corny was the
on
best,
there.
brother. But
But at this time, Cornette was a babyface.
yes, yeah, exactly. Which we'll get into some of
Right.
that in the cards.
So you're looking at the roster as far as this goes. I mean, you're looking the only person, and he was not on this show, would have been Paulie.
Paulie would have been good.
Yep.
He would have been good. I wonder maybe Sullivan, maybe possibly. I always thought Sullivan he would do a little. Yeah. I liked what he maybe. But like I said, Crockett. When I think of the Crockett announce team, I always think of Schiavone and Crockett.
Yeah.
Maybe Weaver and Cottle.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
man, there was
Those are
never.
definitely two.
There wasn't a steady like in other words in WWF you had Bobby the Brain Heenan, you had Jesse Ventura, you had the Macho Man that came in a little bit later. You had these color guys who were known for to be on color and also
antagonize.
Yes,
Yeah.
man, and you almost always had that in WWF
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah, for sure.
Usually it was, I always say Jesse Ventura and Vince McMahon is one of the greatest combinations ever. One thing I'll say, man, I think WWF had the best because Gorilla and the Brain.
Oh God.
I mean, dude, that's who I try to achieve or look up to in our podcast.
Yeah.
I really do. I think of the Brain and the Gorilla. Even of right now, I want to channel that. Because if we can even get 1% of what they had, then brother, I mean, onward, upward, and beyond.
Everything they did was gold.
Was golden, bro.
Yeah.
Everything, and you could just tell their chemistry was so organic. And I'll go as far as say even with Vince McMahon and Jason Ventura, but kind of circling it back into Crockett, I always thought here was the thing, man, where I thought WWF had more entertaining and better back and forth commentating. I always thought Crockett and the NWA had more legit sports.
Yeah, for sure.
It sounded like a football game. It sounded like
it wasn't an entertainment thing. It was
sports.
It
was sports
for
announcing.
Sure. Yeah.
And you really don't have color in that.
They pushed it to the more. I thought they pushed more of the believability.
Yes, realism, the realistic aspect.
Yeah.
Because even in football, baseball, NASCAR, things of this nature, you don't really have an antagonist. You'll have a color.
Yeah.
Like Darryl Waltrip, things like that. I love. I'm not a big NASCAR fan anymore, but I love DW. I think he's great. And I kind of equate that to Crockett.
Is that the one that would always make silly noises?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, booga 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 or some shit.
Booga booga.
Boogity boogity. Hey man, but it was on the T-shirt.
Tell me he wasn't an antagonist.
just us at home. Hey man, that shit made it onto a T-shirt, brother. That's all I'll say, man.
Yeah.
Hey, you make it on a T-shirt, you doing something.
But speaking of world famous announcers, now in the back like the promos, they're doing the promos in the back. They got Gordon Solie in the back.
Yes. The granddaddy of them all,
Oh,
man.
for sure.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
The professor.
Exactly. And a young Chris Cruz.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That is right, yes.
Of the WCW Hotline fame.
Yes. Hey, man, brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, do you remember the old 1-800-COLLECT hack we used to do? Where when you had the pagers back in the day, I was telling some young friends of mine this a couple of months ago. I was like, back in the day when we had pagers and payphones, when that was our means of communication, we were on the road. If you didn't have a quarter, you could 1-800-COLLECT it. It's like, give your name. Hey, I'm at this phone booth at 704-732 blah blah blah. You give them the number. You'd hang up, and then they'd call you, and you didn't have to pay a quarter.
Exactly.
Dude, that was the best hack ever, man. I never spent money on a payphone, man.
Nope.
No 1-800-COLLECT that shit.
Yeah. For you out there that remember the payphone.
Oh, what? Oh, what? Did you have to crank it?
I pay my phone bill every month. No, this was a standing payphone. You put a quarter in.
It was a quarter, actually, yes. It's a silver
like
thing.
the arcade machines.
A
what?
It's like a Xbox, but
but you pay for it. Well, I pay for it.
But yeah. Anyway, 1-800-COLLECT presents.
No.
The Halloween Havoc.
Something about this pay-per-view though that I kind of skipped over. That opening animation for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought that was really cool.
That was cool stuff, man, and
it kind of gave that spooky vibe, you know, for it. But yeah, that was really cool.
Kind of set the tone.
Seeing the wrestlers' names on the tombstones and stuff like that.
Yeah. That was pretty innovative, man.
Yeah.
Even for even WWF, man, it was a little ahead of the curve with that. Dude,
yeah, because they weren't doing that kind of style of animation.
No.
So, yeah, that was really cool. I like that.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, I mean, just the whole presentation of this show was pretty cool. You know, it really was.
Now let's get into this first match.
All
right. First up, we got Captain Mike Rotunda.
Even though the Varsity Club had disbanded,
it
had disbanded,
but he was still rocking out the VC Varsity Club singlet.
And Mike, let me ask you, dude, was you a mark for the Varsity Club? Because I was. Man.
Really?
I loved the Varsity Club, brother. I did.
I liked everybody in it. I did not like the faction.
Really?
Yeah.
I did. I was a fan. I like I said, I was a mark.
Kevin Sullivan. I love Kevin Sullivan as Games Master, but I didn't like him as this coach.
The Coach Sullivan? I did, man. I did. I just, there was something about, I think for me it wasn't as much as the gimmick as it was the people. Because I did love that team, man.
Doc.
I was going to say
Steiner,
Steve Williams. Rotunda, obviously.
Rotundo. Yeah,
Rotunda.
Yeah, Rotunda.
Another mystery in pro wrestling.
I am so bad about that. Rotunda.
Dude, my whole thing was like, I could see how WWF.
Potato.
But I would always, WWF would like really go balls out with like Khrushchev's the Repo Man.
Right, yeah.
Barry Windham is the Widowmaker.
Yeah.
Mike Rotundo is Mike Rotunda. Come on, man. Who the fuck was off that day? It's like somebody took off a day, bro. Well, we got to rename Mike Rotundo. Where's so-and-so? He's off today. Oh, call Mike Rotunda. Okay, man. Done and done.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting back to the match, man.
But no, it was with the Varsity Club. I didn't like the faction. I just didn't. I just can't.
Just wasn't your thing.
I couldn't get into it. Not really. I love the players. Loved everyone.
All the players were great, man.
I think Danny Spivey was in.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah, he sure was, man.
Also,
and I was a huge Dan Spivey fan. Huge. Waylon Mercy. We'll talk about Waylon Mercy and details at some point down the line.
But no, I just could not get to it. And at this time, like you said, they had disbanded. So it's Captain Mike Rotunda. And later they would change that whole captain thing completely. That was a Jim Hurt idea.
To what, the sailor?
Yeah. The actual boat captain.
God almighty, man.
Mike Rotunda.
And I always call that the ding dong era, bro. I mean, I mean that was the ding dong era.
The ding-a-ling era.
Yeah.
But he is going against from Minnesota.
The one and only
Minnesota guy.
Hey, man. They turned out so much talent.
Z-Man. Tom Zenk.
Tom Zenk, the Z-Man in the house.
Let me go ahead and say two things about this match that were really scary to me. First, that was Tom Zenk's White Trunks junk.
Oh boy. Yeah.
And 2 was Mike Rotunda's white guy Jerry curl.
Yes. Yeah, he had a little perm going on at the time.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, it's late '80s, bro. You had to give it a shot.
Well,
Hey man, but the match itself,
no, the match was solid.
solid,
yeah.
bro, solid.
Yeah.
And I would even go as far as say it's definitely not the best match of the night. But man, I haven't watched this match
No,
probably
it
since
was
it
good.
was.
It was a good opener.
Oh man, I mean it
For
set
sure.
the tone. It
Yeah.
set the tone. Rotunda made Zenk look like $1 million.
Yeah.
Zenk gets the win.
Yeah.
Zenk wins.
With the reverse roll up from the body press.
Right.
And no, yeah, but you
Good
can see
match,
it was a great match. I thought it was a great match. That you could see at the end Zenk was kind of
Blowing up.
blowing up.
Yeah.
He had that big, hockaloogie hanging out of his mouth.
Rotundo definitely worked him.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
He put
Yeah.
him through the
Yeah.
paces, man. And but nah, dude, it was a solid match. Very unexpected, to be completely honest with you. Even going back at this time in my life, I'm like, oh God, here's the quote unquote curtain jerk. But Mike, since I said that term, curtain jerk, let me speak on that for a second.
Okay.
In my opinion, man, the opening match can be, if not more so important than your main event,
It
man.
sets the tone.
It sets the tone, brother.
Yeah.
And I remember even back when we were doing our wrestling stuff back in the day, sometimes you'd have a match going first, it might be questionable how it was going to be,
Right.
But man, when they had a good match in that opener, not only did it set the tone, but I felt it made us, and I'm just speaking personally, I would assume that even wrestlers on the level of WCW and WWF in this time would be even more so, but it made me feel like, hey, we got to up our game.
Yeah. Yeah.
This opening
yeah.
match, man,
Yeah.
you got to follow Freebird now, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
going to have to kick it up.
Yeah.
And I thought this match was the perfect, not a curtain jerker, but the perfect opener
Okay.
for this show. I really do, man.
What would you give it?
Out of 5, I'd give it a solid 3.
Yeah.
I'd give it a
for sure.
solid 3, man.
Solid 3.
Yeah. I can't really give it a 4. Definitely not a 5.
Yeah.
But solid 3. Definitely solid. Yeah.
I always thought Captain Mike was just that. He was that great worker. Definitely wasn't going past the mid card.
No,
But
unfortunately.
he was just solid.
Machine.
Maybe not the best talker either.
No.
But he just wrestling. He had it.
Man,
he had it.
and-
And I always liked him better as a heel than a babyface.
I was just about to bring up RS, actually.
Yeah.
I like that gimmick.
Yeah.
I think
I thought he was doing his best stuff as far as talking.
during that period,
yeah.
hands
Yeah.
down. I
His
think
best wrestling was for sure during that varsity.
the
club.
varsity club.
Yeah.
But man, if you could have taken those promo skills, which I thought he was still great in WWF as IRS, I thought he was still.
Right.
I mean, he's Mike Rotunda,
Yeah.
man. He's going to be a master at his game. But yeah, that RS stuff actually showed him
Man.
as an entertainer.
Yeah.
And
You're kind of limited in a business suit as far as
yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah, you're going to be restricted.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you're not going to be able to do as much, and you're getting older on top of that.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just keep it
Yeah.
real, man. So I think that Vince did a really great job, and all the creative did a great job with him to give him this cool gimmick, and it let him run with it. And brother, he
Yeah.
ran with it
Yeah.
hard. And it kind of makes you wonder if in WCW if he'd have had a little bit more of a creative direction, if he
Right.
could have went even further, because man, RS
Not
was
a
a lot of potential.
captain.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Not just something that gets kind of locked into this group, but actually be able to be himself,
Yeah.
or at least be able to have that creative, open environment
Yeah.
like he did with RS.
Right.
I thought he was great as RS, and
Yeah.
everybody hates RS, and it
Oh,
worked
yeah.
out, man.
Yeah.
Everybody hates the tax man.
That's it.
Tax man, once again, gotta give Vince props, man. He knows who to really make the heel. The tax man and the repo man. Fuck, you ain't gonna get no worse than that.
That's right. Now, next up, we've got the Samoan SWAT team.
Right.
It's Fatu, Samu,
And the Savage.
and the Samoan Savage, which is Fatu's
Fatu.
brother.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought for some reason I was thinking it's Fatu, but it's
No, it's Fatu's brother.
brother. Okay.
I want to say, God, I can't remember his name right offhand. He didn't have like Fatu or Samu name.
Right.
Like that. Gosh,
Bob.
what was it? Bob? No, it was close. I'm going to tell you, because it was something like, I can't remember his name. Check that out. Samoan Savage. I want to say I know his middle name is Larry.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, no shit.
Samuel Larry Fatu?
Okay,
Yeah.
Samuel. So his first name Samuel.
Samuel.
All
That's
right.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Little
Bud.
Larry.
Yeah.
Or
Samuel.
Sam Fatu, as they call him.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, once again, yeah.
And they're managed by the Big Kahuna, Sir Oliver Humperdinck.
Humperdinck, yes, yeah. Not too long out of his Bam Bam Bigelow run in WWF,
Right,
man.
exactly.
And he was hot.
Yeah.
Brother, he was hot, man. Hot as fire back in this time.
Yeah. And I think he had taken over for Paulie.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah. And because Paulie had brought them in after the original Midnight Express had left.
Right.
When their feud with the Midnights was over. And Dennis Condrey left again.
Yeah, again, yeah.
But they're going against, of course, the Midnight Express, with Jim Cornette and Dr. Death, Steve Williams.
What a team, bro. You talk about marking out when I was a kid and even as an adult. Once again, Midnight Express, one of my all-time favorite tag teams. Without a doubt, my favorite heel team of all time. You know, even as a kid, I loved the Midnight Express. I hated the heels. I loved the Midnight Express.
Yeah.
Dr. Death, another level.
Yeah.
Another level.
Yeah.
So underrated.
Yeah.
He deserves so much credit. You know, man, I think we did bring him up on the Scary Wrestlers. If not, we should have. I think we did. I'm pretty sure we did. He was the real deal, brother.
Dude, this match is white
hot. It's on fire, man.
This match never stops being white hot.
Yes. And
the whole time. And this is like a 15, 20 minute match.
Right. It's a full match.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's a non-stop match. It's 100 miles an hour.
6 man, that's tough to do.
Yes, sir. Right. Especially when you got some of the guys like the Samoans and Dr. Death, man, who aren't really known to go these long, hardcore or not hardcore, but high speed matches.
Yes.
You know, a lot of velocity.
Yeah.
You know,
they were on it.
Man, they were all on it, dude. Once again.
Every one of them. I mean, everybody was selling for everybody, and that was just like, wow.
And you're still working with a babyface Midnight Express too, you know, which, you know, in Philadelphia, you had to wonder, hey, is this going to go over?
Oh, it did.
And then it went over.
Oh, it did.
Big time, man.
Every hit was just, everybody was on their feet.
Yes.
Bobby took the heat in this match, and he was incredible. He looked
as
like
always.
Ricky Morton.
As always.
Oh, my God. It was so good. And the finish, I thought, was a great finish.
Right. Oh, yeah, man,
the screw job finish was, getting pushed into Cornette, with the tennis racket and, taking the pin. I thought it was a great finish.
It worked out, man. Yeah. It was the perfect finish because it kept everybody over, kept heat. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, the Samoans coming out strong, but, leaving, the Midnights and Doc still strong from that. So,
if not stronger.
Exactly.
After that match, man. I mean, it put them over so heavy and just spotlighted their work rate.
Oh, God. It was so good.
And that's the great thing about the screw job finishes.
Yeah.
It keeps, they're perfect, man.
Yeah.
It keeps, and this was, something that was going to continue to go on for a little while. So, you don't want to just kill the feud. You got to keep a little fuel in it, man.
Right.
Great match.
I thought it was a great match, man. It was definitely, to me, it was... Yeah, I would give it a 4 out of 5.
I was going to say 4.
If the finish was a little messy, I would give it a 5 had it not been for the messy finish.
Right.
I got it over as far as, what it was supposed to do, but it was still a little messy.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, it was so good. It was, like I said, 4 out of 5.
Oh, I'll give it a 4, even with the finish. And I get what you're saying, man. It was a little clumsy.
Yeah.
It was definitely a little clumsy, but it's still one of those things where you suspend that disbelief, and it was definitely so good to where you could definitely overlook.
Yeah.
And once again, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was not a bad finish.
No.
It was just, like I said, a little
I thought
clumsy,
it was a great idea for the finish.
Yeah.
But, just a little messy.
A little sloppy.
Otherwise, I would have given it a 5 because that match was
just... Yeah. And when you put on top of that these personalities, because the Samoans were, man, they were scary. We should have talked about them in the Scary Wrestlers, because the Samoans were scary as hell, brother.
That's true.
I mean, they were all just so big and agile. That was the thing about the Samoans. Man,
they were.
They were like football players and gymnasts.
And they're throwing drop kicks.
Yeah.
And not Eric Watts drop kicks.
No, but good ones.
Yeah, the good ones.
Real ones, No, man, I mean, these guys can move. Dude, they can move like 210 pounders.
Yeah.
And they're over 300, maybe even close to 350, some of these guys, man. 4 out of 5. I'll give it a 4.
And, of course, Fatu would go on to be
Rikishi, yeah, man,
and just blow up, just superstar.
Be huge.
Yeah.
I mean, not just his ass either, but,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know that as well.
But yeah,
but he made a career out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and he deserves it because, like I said, all those guys, everybody in the match was just on point. You know, you just can't speak enough about Dr. Death and the Midnights.
Yeah.
But you also got to put over those Samoans as well.
Right.
I think the Samoans are overlooked.
Yeah, for sure.
They really are. They, as far as being scary, as far as being legit, it just tough, man. And they were the real deal.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, they were like that.
And they were, you know, and they were giving it up. They, you know, they could have been, you know, they could have overrun it and tried to look out for themselves on that. But no, they were going, they were into it. They knew how to do business.
They knew how to do business, brother. Yeah. And you know, one thing, Mike, I've watched. You know, I like to watch a lot of shoot interviews in my spare time. And one thing that you'll hear across the board with guys when the Samoans come up is how professional these guys were. They never worried about a win or a loss, dude. They knew the business. They got it.
Yep.
They were there to get paid. They were there to make you look good, make them look good, because they knew the better they made the other guy look, the more money they're gonna get in their pocket.
That's right.
And they got it, and that's why it worked, because they got it. And they, like you said, Mike, who the hell's gonna tell Samoans that you're gonna lose a match?
Right.
But other than maybe Dr. Death, I mean that'd be a whew. I'd hate to see a disagreement there, bro. That'd be a freaking train wreck, man. But all in all, these guys they knew how to do business,
That's
bro.
Right.
They did. Absolutely.
So, up next, match number 3, the Cuban Assassin.
He used to wrestle under the name Fidel.
Just Fidel.
Just Fidel.
As stated by...
it was Cottle.
Was it Cottle?
Yes, Bob Cottle. Yeah.
Cottle said Fidel.
We know where his alliance or allegiance lies.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
I got cigars in his pocket.
Hey.
And those camo... Those camo pants that got some cigars snuck over here.
Well, it is an illegal object, an illegal foreign object.
Foreign
object. Yeah, and it's illegal. So
why not?
I mean, hell, fuck it.
He's going against former world champion himself,
the Wildfire Man,
Tommy Rich.
Boy, oh boy. Oh man.
Tommy looks rich coming out, and this is late '89.
Yes.
He's coming straight out, and I did the math on this. So, Tommy Rich is, I guess, what, about 20-something at this time? 27?
Late 20s, pushing late 20s, I'd say.
He looks like he's damn...
Brother. He been partying.
Yeah.
He been partying hard, man.
Yeah.
He been doing everything. Had to be. How old is Tommy Rich Pudsworth?
Right now, he's 62.
Okay, so 62 minus...
You're the math guy.
Yeah, but, hey, Pudsworth, see if you can do the math on that. I don't want to do it in my head, man, because I will get it wrong.
What year was he born?
62 years ago.
Stupid. 62
God
years
damn,
ago.
man. I hope nobody I work with is listening to this shit. Really, I hope
I
not.
put it in like
1956.
Okay, 56 to 89. That'd be what? Goddamn 30 something. Fuck it, man. 20 later 20s, early 30s.
No.
Well, fuck it, man. He was definitely younger than he looked. That much we can damn be assured of.
Yeah, it was tough.
It was hard, man.
Plus, he was just like world champion, like in what 1980, 81.
It was the early 80s,
Harley
man.
Race, and this was like 8 years later.
Yeah, so
So youngest world champion, I think he would have been 18 at that time.
probably, yeah, give or take, in his late teens, very early 20s, maybe.
Yeah.
Very early 20s.
So
We can definitely say, man, that he was under 30.
Yeah,
At this
for
particular
sure.
time.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, man, the older we get, the more we know that you're under 30, you shouldn't be looking like that.
No.
One thing I remember about Tommy Rich at this time was how hard they were pushing him as being the big comeback.
Yeah.
You know, I think I heard more about Tommy Rich being world champion in that particular, in 1989 than I did my entire life.
Yeah.
But he just never, once again, man, you're missing Dusty. You're missing Tully and Arn.
Yeah.
You kind of got to work with what you got,
Yeah.
man. But not a great match, Mike.
No. I need stretch of imagination.
Dude, this match is worse than our math, bro.
Let me tell you what. And you can tell, you know, of course, hey, anybody want to guess who goes over in this match?
Well, it ain't Fidel.
Okay.
I'll tell you who really lost. The fans.
Hey. But, you know, Tommy Rich, of course, wins with the Thez press.
Right.
Something he was also made famous for whatever reason.
Right. I moved
because
that.
I think he won the world title with the Thez press.
I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
That Lou Thez, invented. But he only won that one match with
one match
with that Thez press.
But boy, was it pushed.
Hey, yeah.
It was definitely pushed.
He was about 33-ish.
About 33.
About my age, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, give or take.
They call bullshit.
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 But still, man.
27 looks like he's 43.
That motherfucker. But dude,
His hair is damn white and
white as we are.
Fucking bleached. And he comes out with this red ass, just a fucking Memphis jacket. Looked like he got it from Jackie Fargo.
He picked it up off the floor on his way out to the ring.
Dang.
He might know who jacket this is.
Yeah.
It's yours now, Tommy. All right. One thing I want to say about Tommy Rich, man, and once again, you know how I do. I jump around timelines. I loved him in ECW, brother.
I did too.
I love that Nashville, Italy thing.
Oh,
I love that, man.
Nashville, Italy. No, it was great.
Hey, Paisan.
Let me tell you what, Tommy Rich as a heel
Great.
was always awesome.
Great. Yeah.
I remember, in Memphis when he did that deal with Lawler.
Right on. Right.
Dude, that was some good stuff. I always thought it was awesome.
Oh man.
Also, I don't know why they bring him back as a damn baby, unless it
trying to fill that void, man. Trying to fill the
teaming
void.
with Ricky Morton or Robert Gibson.
Yeah, I could see that because
they actually did.
Yeah. I was going to say he's very Ricky Morton like, very much so. I never really thought about that, but yeah, sure enough, man, sure enough. But
they usually talk about the same.
Yeah, you need a translator. You kind of equally need translators for him, but man, you talk about a match that was just in the. Why do you give this one, bro?
I'll tell you what, and you could tell at the end of the match when he's done, he's pinned and rolled out of the ring. He's going ahead straight for the back. He's done.
He's over it, man. He's over it.
Yeah.
So how many you give this one, bro?
Woo!
I'll give it a 2, man.
I'm gonna be generous with the 2 because it wasn't like it was like a total.
No, I mean it had its. I mean, it was average at best.
Yeah.
At best, it was average for a pay-per-view, a super show. And for the third match,
Cuban Assassin though,
dude, this is your curtain jerk.
Could we not have dusted off somebody? This is a Saturday night
jobber.
This is Saturday, definitely a Saturday night match.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. I mean, this is absolutely. See, to me, the third match, this is your popcorn match. This is the match you go take a piss. This is your match you go to concessions.
This was it.
Brother, if there's ever been a bigger popcorn match in a pay-per-view,
yeah.
I like to see it, man, because this one gets 5 popcorns out of 5 popcorns, and it gets 2 out of 5 for the match.
The only thing that possibly could have either made this match worse or better would have been breakout Ricky Santana in the,
oh, no, see, that'd have been dope.
As the Cuban Assassins.
Oh, Jesus. Did I ever tell you about the time I asked Ricky Santana if he was related to Tito Santana?
Yes, you did.
That was pretty cool. He just straight up said no.
And his answer was?
No. I mean, that was it, man. But, hey, that was the cool thing about going to these West Lincoln wrestling shows. It was intimate. He was in the ring. I was like, hey, man, you're related to Tito? No.
No.
All right, now I know.
Okay.
I'm good to go, man. And my life has been good ever since.
There you go.
I learned some shit.
Would you like an autograph, kid?
No.
Okay. All right.
What? Refer to your answer about Tito. Yeah, man, from Dusty.
Yeah.
Can you hook me up?
From Tito?
For Tito, yeah. Shit, man, I was wanting to get my program, son. Tito's not even on the card. I don't care, man. It's Tito. Tito's awesome, man. Tito's great. Ricky was great. I thought Ricky Santana was actually a pretty good wrestler, dude. All bullshit jokes aside, man, I thought Ricky Santana was a pretty decent guy, man.
Right.
He really was. He was on a Stain level.
Yeah.
Definitely good. Had the body. Had the ability. Just never could break that out of that. That particular position he was in.
Yeah.
But a good solid wrestler. Definitely better than the Cuban Assassin. 100%.
What? All right. Let's talk about this next match.
Oh boy.
It is a World Tag Team Title match.
Oh yes.
Featuring the challengers, the Dynamic Dudes,
with special advisor
Jim Cornette.
Mr. Jim Cornette himself.
Dynamic Dudes at that time were Shane Douglas
and Johnny Ace. also known as John
People.
Laryngitis, as I call him.
People power.
I always thought it was funny. Laryngitis and laryngitis sound alike. I think I just fucked up both those words.
People power.
Or as I always like to call him, the flag bearer. That's how I met Johnny
Yeah,
Ace.
oh,
Was
yeah.
when he was the flag bearer for the
sheep herders.
The sheep herders who would
Yep.
go on to become the Bushwhackers
Yeah.
in WWF. And they were the shit, dude. They were like a real legit badass team.
Yeah.
Before they became, the comedy,
Yeah.
skit special, but whatever. But Johnny Ace, man, and the Dean himself, Shane Douglas, the
yeah.
franchise, who obviously would go on to be the franchise in ECW and have a huge fan base, man. Me personally, I liked him in ECW. I liked Shane Douglas in ECW.
I loved Shane Douglas.
Yeah,
in ECW.
I thought he was, the shit, man. The
Yeah.
triple threat was great.
Yeah.
With Bam Bam and Chris Carter, that was awesome, man. Even before it was Lance Storm and who was it? Was it not Benoit? Was it?
It was you talking about the original triple threat?
Yes,
It was
yeah.
Benoit, Malenko, and
And Douglas.
Douglas.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. And
And
then
later it would be, first off it was Candido, Brian Lee, and Douglas.
right.
Then Brian Lee left, and then they got
Bam Bam.
Bam Bam in.
I believe it was
and I
Bam Bam.
think At one time
Lance Storm was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in it.
Yeah.
But my favorite incarnation of that was always the Bam Bam Chris Cardito. How do you pronounce his name?
Candido.
Candido. Yes.
Yeah.
That was great, man.
Me personally, I liked Brian Lee era better.
Brian Lee was badass.
He
dude.
was
He
a
was badass.
motherfucker.
Yeah, he was bad as hell, man.
Yeah.
See, I always like Bam Bam because Bam Bam brought that little extra. I don't know. It's almost like a little shot in the arm because I was a huge Bam Bam Bigelow fan, dude. I've always been a big Bam Bam fan.
Yeah.
And when he was in that group, to me, it added a little bit of legitimacy to
Right.
it. Because, at that point, it always been ECW talent, really, that was brought up. Oh, let's see here, man. What we got here? Pudsworth has just pulled up some information on the triple threat. And, damn, man, that's really small. I can't read that shit. Bottom line. Yeah. Pudsworth stick the shit in my face. Shit's in 3D.
Hey.
But bottom line, man.
But
Shane Douglas was the shit in ECW.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
going back. In this match, not a bad match, bro.
Yeah.
It was not a bad match. Well, let's go. We haven't even said who the champions were yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got the dudes with Jim Cornette.
You got the dudes
Yes.
against the tag champions, Freebirds.
The fabulous Freebirds.
The incarnation of
P.S.
Michael
P.S.
P.S. What's P.S. stand for?
Pretty sexy.
I thought it was purely sexy.
I always thought it was pretty sexy. Hey, look that up, Pudsworth. Damn, Pudsworth earns his
I
money.
thought it was purely sexy.
I always thought it was pretty sexy. I don't know.
PS.
What's the P stand
Yeah,
for?
what's the
We
P-
know that.
Fart. Oh my God!
God damn it, Pudsworth. You slept
Stop
in.
drinking.
You slept in late, man. God damn it.
Stop drinking.
Well, let us know, brother, when you find out. But we're going to, yeah.
Oh.
We're going back to Punningham, man. We're trading them in, bro. We're
Oh,
trading them
God.
in.
Uh,
But no, man.
Pretty sexy.
Purely?
Yes.
It is
Purely.
purely. I
Yeah,
thought it was.
yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Thanks, Pudsworth. Damn it, brother. He's earning his money,
there you go.
which is nothing. We don't pay him.
Damn.
He gets 10% of what we
Thank
get.
God.
What's 10%?
Next
of
week.
Nothing. Nothing.
Next week, twice as much.
Twice as much, man. We're doubling it. You get zero twice.
Yeah.
But man,
And Jimmy Jam Garvin.
Jimmy Jam, which I always liked. Not my favorite
Right.
combination.
Yeah.
The original is my favorite.
Yeah, for
with
sure.
With
Yeah.
Terry Gordy and Buddy Roberts, man. But I love Jimmy
I
Jam.
think even in World Class, it was always kind of implied that he was kind of like
An associate.
associate or charter member.
Charter.
Yeah.
Kind of how
the
Luger was with the
Birds.
Horsemen there for a little
Yeah.
while. He was always, because he would team with them a lot,
Yeah.
man. He was always on, and in real life they would travel together. And,
Yeah.
You know, him and Michael Hayes were always like really good friends outside of wrestling.
Yeah.
And obviously that bled into the ring. You
Yep.
know. But
He was so
I
good.
liked it, man. I liked this combination, and especially when they brought Bam Bam back and had Bam Bam with that group.
Right.
That was the
Oh,
shit,
God.
man.
Yeah.
That was the shit.
Yeah.
Because I love Jimmy Jam Garvin. I love Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin.
Yep.
One of my all-time favorites. So yeah, man. Dude, the crowd was so Philadelphia people. Now I know it's 1989 and it's still years before ECW and that kind of
Yeah.
mentality. This crowd was strictly for the Freebirds, bro. They were the dynamic dudes were just
Like I
not
said,
over,
Philly
man.
Philly was a hot crowd.
Yes, it was. Yes,
They
always
knew
has
their
been.
wrestling. They knew good wrestling. And let me tell you what. they were not buying the dudes.
Not at all, man. Even with Cornette in the corner.
Even with Cornette in the corner, anything they did, they were getting booed.
And everything that the Freebirds were doing,
Oh, yeah.
it was the biggest pops, man.
Yeah.
And overall, the match was fairly solid.
No.
You don't think
I
so?
don't think so.
I thought it was a fairly solid match, man.
No,
I really did.
No.
I thought it was all right.
I thought at this, I don't know what it was with Shane. Shane had been in this thing. He wasn't a rookie.
He wasn't a rookie, no.
It was Johnny Ace.
No.
But you almost saw it. They looked pretty. It was not pretty.
Really?
This whole thing was not pretty. They were
It was
missing
clumsy.
spots.
There was a lot of clumsiness.
Spots. They were
Yes.
botching stuff up like crazy. I don't know if that Philly crowd had just
Got
gotten
in
to
their
them.
heads. Got in their heads.
It was not a nice, pretty match.
I don't know, man. I disagree. Like I said, I didn't think it definitely wasn't match of the night, bro. I mean, not even close to match of the night.
No.
But once again,
Well, for the Birds, it was a great night. Man.
And I wonder if that had a lot to do with it too. Because even to this day, I'm still a huge mark for the Freebirds.
Yeah.
And just watching them kind of getting that pop, and I will say, man, the Dynamic Dudes were definitely. You could tell they were still feeling their tag team out. That was definitely apparent. You know what I'm saying? But overall, man, like I said, as far as overall from bell to bell, there was some hang-ups, definitely, but I didn't think it was that bad. No, I mean, and once again, though, you got Michael Hayes and Jimmy Jam, so I'm going to mark out.
Yeah.
And Cornette, too, and Corny,
Corny couldn't even say
Nah, man, I mean, dude, I didn't like the angle with him, and I'll give the commentators, once again, Cottle and Ross, they were really putting it over, man.
Yeah.
One thing I love about those commentators from that day, they really put that psychology behind it. They were even trying to say, was this going to affect the Midnight Express? They would even be like, oh, that was a Midnight Express move. That had to be something that Cornette helped these guys out with. I enjoy that aspect. I like that. But overall, Cornette with the Dynamic Dudes, brother, it just didn't.
No,
just
it
didn't jive.
It didn't go.
Didn't jive.
I mean, you had them get booed hard.
Oh, bro.
Hard.
Oh, that was
and
heat.
You had the
So
Freebird chants. You had the DDT chants.
DDT chants were crazy, man.
And they were wanting their blood.
Blood. They were wanting blood, man.
Yeah,
That's
they were wanting the dude's blood.
Not the like I said, man. The Dynamic Dudes in that Philadelphia hot crowd. Because even as a kid, and I told you I didn't like the Rock and Roll Express. I thought they were too poppy,
Right.
quote unquote, too poppy, too mainstream. Brother, the Dynamic Dudes took that and took it to another level.
Yeah.
Whether you want to say they leveled up or leveled down is a matter of opinion, but they took that baby face, that clean cut, that poppy. I mean, motherfuckers came out with skateboards.
Skateboards.
Man. Jesus, Louises, man.
Not a damn one of them couldn't ride a skateboard.
Hell no, man. Well, they could barely wrestle.
They were in.
Damn.
Oh,
A little less skating, a little more wrestling, guys. Come
that's
on.
bad.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. But let me tell you, the finish on it, that was an awesome.
Solid finish, man.
Because the dudes did this thing where their double team finisher was a belly to back. It was a double, 2-person belly to back suplex, slingshot suplex. It was a pretty cool
It's
finisher.
solid, yeah.
I think it was a
innovative.
viable finish. I bought it. You can get behind that finisher, but Hayes grabs one of the legs and Jimmy, goes over on Shane, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a great
It was
finish
good.
to that match.
And
I thought it was a really creative finish.
It was, man. And I tell you, looking back and thinking about the match, that's probably what saved it for me to say that it was a solid match. Because that finish was good, man.
Yeah.
It didn't, because like you say, we can go back to the earlier match, with, oh, Jesus. My train of thought just died, man. What was the other tag team match we were just talking about that was really good but really screwed the pooch at the end? It's the match.
Oh, yeah, the 6-man.
Yeah, the 6-man. That's what I meant. No,
six-man,
yeah, with the Samoans
Yeah.
and the Midnights. That was a great match. The ending got a little clumsy.
Right.
I think this match was like the opposite of that.
Mhm.
The match itself was a little clumsy. Definitely had some trip ups, man.
Yeah,
that finish,
for sure.
That finish really helped, in my opinion, pull it. It kind of
Pull it
pulled it
back.
up, man, before it crashed.
Yeah.
Once again, I don't know if I could give it a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3. But it's not a solid 3.
Damn.
This
Look
is where
at this motherfucker over here.
It's
just generosity.
This is
personified.
Mike, I hate to admit it, but this would actually be one I'd give it a 2.5, but I don't do that half bullshit.
Yeah, I know
you know what I'm
that.
saying?
Well, that's why.
If I did the half bullshit, I'd give it a 2.5.
Oh,
But I'm gonna have to round it up to a 3, brother.
I'm going to give it a half. I'm going no.
Point 0.004.
I'm going to give it a half of a 2. And that's a 1.
That's a 1.
I'm giving it a 1. And you know what? I would have given it a fucking 0 had it not been for that finish.
Hey man, we finally got good at math again, though.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
The only thing redeeming about this thing were the birds and the finish.
And the crowd.
Yeah.
I'll say the crowd's reaction with the birds
Yeah.
too, man. It really. And once again, I'll put the commentators over, dude. They
Mhm.
really put a lot of psychology, a lot of backstory
Yeah.
into this thing. I loved how they kept teasing was the Midnight Express.
Yeah.
You know, they got a problem with this. That's a Midnight Express type move. You know, Cornette's really bringing something to the. I like that aspect, man. You know, I've always been a big psychology fan of wrestling. You know, I've always liked the psychology more than the bell to bell. Always have. And I think that's, once again, it is a clumsy match, spotty match, but the psychology and the ending, I thought really it pulled it up to a 3.
Yeah.
To a 3 for me. Yeah, from 2 to a 3. Yeah. Well, hey man, before we go into the next match, you want to take a little break, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, we getting close to halfway, so we'll go ahead and take a little break, and you guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey, Puds, you like wrestling?
We love wrestling.
Then you're going to love this. Millennium Wrestling Federation returns this Saturday at 8 p.m. Lincoln County Veterans Center at 508 Howards Creek School Road.
Whoa, Mike, that sounds expensive.
You are wrong.
What?
Absolutely, because kids 6 and under are free.
Free?
Free. And general admission seats are only $6.
But you'll only need the edge. Come, experience the passion of the Millennium Wrestling Federation. All right, Puds, we're back, and hope you guys out there enjoyed that new commercial that we got here from the MWF. Mike, I had a lot of fun making that, brother.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I think that commercial lasts about 30 seconds, I believe, but it took us close to 45.
Yeah. Not seconds.
The minutes.
Minutes.
Minutes, brother. In fact, Mike, I actually got a little clip here.
All right.
That hope you enjoy, and I hope some of the people out there listen to enjoy. But I took some outtakes and put together just a little snippet here of some of our outtakes for our big ad that we did for the MWF. So we're going to go ahead and play that.
Okay.
And like I said, I hope you guys out there like this. So yeah, here we go.
Hey, Puds, you like wrestling?
We love wrestling.
Then you're going to love this. This Saturday at the Howards Creek Veterans Center.
Okay.
In the newly renovated MWF Arena.
The MWF?
That's right, MWF. Millennium Wrestling Federation.
That sounds awesome.
It is awesome. More than you can ever realize.
How much is the seat?
$5.
6, asshole.
Damn. Hey, Puds, you like wrestling?
We love wrestling.
Then you're going to love this Saturday at 8 p.m. in Lincoln County Veterans Center at 508 Howards Creek School Road. The MWF Professional Wrestling returns.
Millennium Wrestling Federation.
You've heard of it.
I have. Okay, man, I think we're digressing. All right, man, hold on. All right.
Hey, Puds, you like wrestling?
We love wrestling.
Then you're going to like this.
Not like.
Love.
We're going to love it, Mike.
We're going to love it.
God damn it,
We're going to love it. Hey, Puds, you like wrestling?
We love wrestling.
Then you're going to love this Saturday as the MWF Pro Wrestling returns to Lincoln County Veterans Center at 508 Howards Creek School Road.
The MWF?
Millennium Wrestling Federation.
That sounds powerful.
It is.
That sounds exciting.
Oh, let me tell you what. You have no idea.
That sounds passionate.
Let me tell you. It's only $6 per seat.
Bullshit! Shit, man. Bullshit. Oh, Jesus, man. I fucked up. I
really thought we had that one.
I know, man. It was so good, man, and I fucked up.
Oh.
Okay, man. I think we're good now.
Alright.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Man, we're a couple puds, Mike.
Yeah. You know that already.
Now you know for
Now you
sure.
know.
You guys got to get a little
Dude.
peek behind the curtain there, and that was fun, man. That was fun.
That was a trip.
That was a trip, and yeah, I was going through it and I was doing the editing, and I'm like, there's definitely enough here to get a clip. There's definitely. So, man, I hope you guys out there enjoyed that.
That was our
man.
tribute to Burt Reynolds.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh,
it
man.
just seemed like, you try to sit down and do something serious.
Oh.
And it's impossible.
It goes downhill quick.
Yeah.
And Mike, I don't know if that's just how me and you are.
I think it is.
How the fuck do we make it through this thing?
Because we're not being
We're
serious.
not being serious.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Man, you start trying to overthink it too much, man, or put too much into it, and it can go downhill, and which we saw.
Yeah.
Which we saw, but yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoy that. That's one of my first attempts to even try to do any kind of clipping or putting anything together. So, when I was going through it last night, putting it together, I was like, "Come on, man, we gotta let the puds hear some of this." Some of it I didn't include. Some of it I'm like, "Okay, man, we're being a little bit too obscene." So, and when I'm over here like, "Oh, yeah, okay,
it got rough,
brother, it got kind of bad."
Yeah.
Well, Mike, let's get back into Halloween Havoc '89 here, bro. Let's get back into this card. So we just got done talking about. Oh yeah. That's for another time, brother. That's for another time. We'll get to that one, but yeah, man, we just come out of what I consider to be a decent match given the circumstances.
You have better thoughts on it than I do.
Once again, brother, being generous, man. I'm from the donation nation this morning, and I'm donating a little. I'm donating at least a point.
City of generosity.
Generosity city. Ah, fuck it, I can't speak. But well, anyway, man. So what's next on the card, brother?
All right.
Let's see. Where we at?
We got another tag match.
Okay.
Coming up. We got the Steiners
Oh yes, sir.
versus Doom.
Or as I like to call it, 2 freaking freight trains or 4 freaking freight trains.
Yeah, meeting at one specific spot and just
All 4 just
dude, it is intense.
hard hitting match.
Hard hitting. And Doom, obviously, if you don't already know, was Ron Simmons and Butch Reed.
Butch Reed, right.
Under mask.
Right. Which
accompanied by
Theodore Arlong.
No.
Oh no, dude.
No.
Dude, I got my wires code.
Tags,
Woman.
yeah.
It was woman.
Woman.
Woman. That's
Yes.
right. I don't know why I was thinking
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, player.
Yeah. Scale it down. Scale it down.
Hold on, player. No. God, this is such a hard hitting match. I mean,
Man.
just from the start.
Once
They
again,
just go
man.
straight into it.
Just 4 bulls, dude.
Yeah.
Just running head, horns forward, man. Just killing each other.
Well, let me go ahead and get this out of the way first. Before the match, we had a promo with
Oh,
the Steiners. And let me tell you what. Okay. Of course, Rick Steiner's promos have always been kind of out there because
Sure.
that was his gimmick. He was
right.
just a little crazy,
He had Alex as his manager,
Yeah.
which I always thought was hilarious.
Yeah. But Scott Steiner's promo.
We saw a
And-
little glimpse in the future.
And if you're familiar with the Scott Steiner promos over the years, over his illustrious career,
Oh, boy.
they're rough.
Or wonderful, depending on how you look at it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
They're
they
a thing of
entertain.
art.
They are, man, and art is definitely in the eye of the beholder.
Yes.
I love his promos, man. I think they're great. I mean,
They're hard to follow sometimes.
they're chaotic.
Yeah,
Very chaotic.
and his math is about as good as ours.
Yeah.
On the fly.
Maybe a little better, actually. Yeah.
But yeah, you could tell in this promo from the outset, he didn't develop this just over time. He was definitely born with this.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. It's in his DNA.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't be Scott Steiner and have to practice that.
No.
Or have to work on. You just are.
Yeah.
Brother. The Lord broke the mold with him, my man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's entertaining.
It is.
It's so entertaining, and
It
you
is.
know, especially when they were baby faces.
Oh yeah.
Because they worked so well with each other.
Yeah.
Because you know, Scott would just do his crazy, but whereas Rick, you could tell in real life would probably have more sense,
Right.
like legitimately. But his gimmick was the crazy
Yeah.
one,
Exactly.
and it really played well off
Yeah.
each other. It made for great interviews, man.
It did.
And dude, we can't even get into how just athletic and the
Oh,
ability
God.
that the Steiners, especially before Scott got so big.
Yeah.
When he was always big. He was
Yeah.
always huge. He was always a hoss.
Yes.
But when he was more agile and faster,
Yeah.
dude, I mean,
Let's go ahead and put it. Before the freaking steroids.
oh, absolutely,
I mean,
absolutely.
just before he just got blown up on them.
Yeah, and just took it so far. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, man. I respect a person that can get built like that because I don't care how many steroids you're putting in your body, man. You're also in the gym
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of people think steroids is a magic pill.
No.
It
yeah.
is not.
No.
The only thing steroids allow you to do is work out more
Yeah.
without killing your body.
Yeah.
And that's what he does.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he would work out and push himself further than you're supposed to.
Right.
And then he would just up these steroids. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he just got.
You know, it's the same thing with like protein. You
Yeah.
know, or the protein mixes, protein
Right.
shakes. You can drink all you want.
But you're not going to get like that,
No.
man, because your
No.
body cannot
Yeah.
work that hard.
Yeah.
You're going to break down. You have to have some sort of chemical or
Mhm.
some sort of unnatural supplement,
Right.
something to enhance that.
Yeah.
You have to, and which he did, obviously.
Yeah.
But man, and I love Big Papa Pump, man. I always
Uh-huh.
thought that was a
Yeah.
great gimmick. I thought he really came into his own.
Yeah.
But athletically, ability
Oh my
speaking,
gosh.
when he was
During
with the
this
Steiners,
time,
oh, dude, he was peaking out.
let's just
he's
go ahead and
peaking
say
out.
this: '89, right here on Halloween Havoc, they have a full farm of just talent.
Oh man, I'm talking raw.
Yeah.
Just 10 out of 10. Everybody was just
Yeah.
10 out of 10. And that's something else.
With the exception of Tommy Richardson.
Well,
was
yeah,
assassin.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, other than those guys.
Yeah.
And the dynamic dudes
Yeah,
can be
well,
iffy,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
iffy. Shane Douglas obviously
Right.
did go on, you know. And that was one thing that I
Even
really...
Douglas did some good tag with Rick
Steamboat sure
yeah,
did,
later
man.
on.
He sure did.
Yeah.
That was a real good team, actually.
Yes, it
It
was.
was. And you know something else you got to put Cottle and Ross over is they really pushed that too. This is our new generation.
Yes.
Whereas the WWF had kind of started doing that, the next generation coming up.
Mhm.
You know, WCW was doing that as well.
Yeah.
And these guys were in the forefront of that.
Right.
You know, definitely in the forefront. And I mean, for this to be a non-title match, it was higher up on the card
Yeah.
for obvious reasons. Man.
Yeah.
This match was, to say it was solid would actually be an understatement.
Yeah.
I mean, this match was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Especially for two teams who were just so.
It was concrete.
It was concrete,
Yeah.
bro. I mean, man, it was just. And even watching it, it's just like, God Almighty, I forgot how awesome it was
Man.
to see these, you know, strong, athletic types with personalities.
Yes.
Even Doom had they were
Yes.
silent. They
Yeah.
were just monsters.
Yeah.
Woman did all the talking.
Yeah.
You know, and it fit so well.
It did.
I'm telling you. And they, obviously
Incredible.
they're still under the mask
Yes.
at this time. They're
Yeah.
still nobody, and they use that as well. The commentators.
Right.
We don't know who these people are. We don't know
Yep.
their weaknesses. We don't know their strengths. We
Yep.
can't watch videos on these people. We don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Once again, man, psychology. Bob Cottle
Yeah.
put it over so hard. Jim Ross
Did.
put it over so hard.
Yeah.
But now Bob Cottle did fuck up a little bit.
Yeah,
No.
but-
It was
No,
Jim
it was
Ross.
Jim Ross,
It was
yeah,
Jim Ross
yeah.
that fucked up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I got to give him props on trying to save it.
Yep.
It still didn't work, and I had to go
I know.
rewind it to hear
Yeah.
what I said. But he refers to Doom number 1 or 2. I don't know which one Butch Reed was, but he does refer to him as Reed.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I meant greed. I meant to say he's greedy. He's greedy. And
Yeah,
I'm like, nah,
yeah.
man, you
No,
done fucked up
come on
now.
now,
You
come
done
on
fucked it up, you know.
I think pretty much. We all knew by
At this
that
point.
time.
At this point.
Yeah, we all knew at that time.
Dude, I remember when they had the unmasking.
Right.
And everybody was like, I mean, dude, that's like knowing.
Yeah,
It's
I
like your
mean-
Christmas present is a pony.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the pony's been outside for a month, you
Yeah.
know, with the ribbon on the motherfucker. Oh,
Oh,
what I
yeah,
get?
okay,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
pony, yeah.
yeah.
Come on, man. We knew who it was, you know.
Daddy, why has that pony got a mask on
On
it?
it, yeah. Because his name is Butch Reed. Oh, Ron Simmons. You got two of them. But you know, man, I loved the team of Doom. I really did, man. I thought Doom was great.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
as
Oh,
singles,
God.
you know, I thought, man,
Yeah.
dude, I love Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons is honest to God in my top, probably maybe my top 10. I've always been a huge Ron Simmons fan.
Yes.
Even Butch Reed, I was always a big fan.
Yes.
You know, Butch Reed's probably a better wrestler, honestly, than Simmons. But there
Yeah.
was something about Simmons I always really liked.
Yeah, he had that intensity.
Charisma. Well,
Yeah.
Butch Reed had charisma,
Oh,
man.
for
Butch
sure.
had it
For sure.
in God, man,
Yeah.
he had it in spades, bro.
Yeah.
But I think Simmons also being a former world champion, and how they kind of for later, obviously after Doom, but they really pushed him as being the first, black champion,
Yes.
world recognized champion. And I remember when they were doing that storyline with him, just how huge that was. So looking back, even before that, looking back at his earlier stuff, I still mark out for him.
Yeah.
Still definitely mark out.
Definitely.
But yeah, man, this match was solid. Man.
What do you think about that finish with the?
With the foreign object in the mask?
Yeah,
I
the
liked
headbutt,
it.
yeah.
I liked it,
It's
man.
that was definitely, even for that time, that was going back to more of an old school
Yes.
type of finish with those masks.
And once again, giving the commentators Bob Caudle his props,
Yeah.
once again, he really sold that. He was like,
Yeah.
you can see it in the mask,
Yeah.
just putting it over. Once again, it's one of those finishes that keeps the heat on the heel,
Yeah.
keeps the babyface over. Wonderful, man. It was a wonderful match. Like I said, I would almost put it as a match of the night. Almost.
Ooh, wow.
Almost,
Really?
man. It's up there. I give it a solid 4.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with 3.
3?
With 3.
Man, I don't.
Only because of the headbutt mask finish.
Well, see, I like that.
Because
though.
I think, I liked it. I just don't think it played well.
Really,
I don't think
really.
it played off as well as it could have.
Got you. I did.
I think a lot of people were confused about really what happened.
The live audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't actually get to see
Right.
it, and they didn't have the commentators putting it
Yeah.
over. But watching it on video,
Yeah, for sure.
it definitely
Yeah.
it got over.
Yeah. Because the live audience, they just see a headbutt and they're like,
That's it.
what?
That's kind of like the
Yeah.
John Cena backhand the
So,
other week.
yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Sometimes stuff that works on TV doesn't work in a live audience.
True.
you
You're
know?
absolutely right. It doesn't translate well.
Right.
And sometimes vice versa.
Yeah,
Sometimes something may
exactly.
work for the live audience and it
Yeah.
doesn't come across on television at all,
Exactly.
man. And Mike, that's a good point, bro. I think this one, this is an example of that.
Yeah.
Of absolutely. And, once again, the live crowd translates to the TV as well. So when the crowd's dead or not, you're going to feel that
Yeah.
watching it as well. 'Cause the crowd's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
The crowd's always been a big deal. But, yeah, man, I give this one a 4.
I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3 because of that finish.
Yeah. But good match,
It was
brother.
a great
I mean,
match.
great
Oh,
match.
yeah,
Great
for
match.
sure.
Great,
Yeah.
great. Yes, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Loved it.
All right. Oh, what we got next up?
Probably the U.S. title match, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
With challenger Brian
Brian
Pillman against the United States champion Lex Luger.
Lex Luger.
Total package.
Yes.
I think this is his third reign
it is.
as U.S. champion.
Yes. Well, once again, commentators putting that over for his youth as well. 3
Yeah.
years in,
Oh,
already
God.
3-time champion. Yes.
This match is incredible.
Man, match of the night.
I say it's match of the
Match
night.
of the night.
For
No,
sure.
no, yeah, 100%.
Up until that point, the 6-man tag for me
yeah.
was match of the night.
This one.
This one right here is
Took it.
incredible.
And Mike, people, and I've been guilty of this
Mhm.
myself. I don't think people give Luger enough credit. I really don't, man.
This was a different Luger. Of course, it was a heel Luger.
It was a heel Luger.
Heel Luger is a big difference
The
between
babyface Luger.
babyface Luger.
But I think overall, man, Luger doesn't get. I think the man should be in the Hall of
Right.
Fame. I've said that for years, and
Yeah.
I hated. And I think that's part of it too, Mike. I had Lex Luger's picture on
Uh-huh.
my dartboard.
Really?
That's heat, bro. As
Yeah.
a kid, that's heat.
Yeah.
And as I've gotten older, I'm like, why did I hate him so much? And I still don't know why, but
Right.
I know I did.
Yeah.
I just know I did. This match, bro, was great.
Yeah.
Something about before the match, something that I really took notice of, and something I really enjoyed was Gordon Soley's interview
Yeah.
with Lex Luger. Because Soley asked him, he says, how many times have you been champion? Or something. I'm paraphrasing this.
Uh-huh.
And Luger, obviously, being Luger, is like, I'll be champion as many times as I want to be, or I'm going to be champion again tonight. He didn't really answer the question. Soley kind of pulled it out. He's like, so you've been champion more than once. That means you can be beat. Once again, using
Right.
that psychology.
Yeah.
That's what he was trying to bait Luger into
Right.
saying. He's like,
Right.
so you can be beat.
Yeah.
I love that,
Yeah.
man. But it also kind of showed Luger, I kind of laughed because Luger just didn't really get the question.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Soley being Soley was like, so you can be beat. You've
Hey.
had it more than once, you can be beaten.
Let me tell you, Luger was another one of those promo guys that just didn't.
He was a body guy, man.
Whew,
he,
yeah.
he was a body guy. He was a bodybuilder. I mean, he looked like $1 million. I mean, Jesus Christ, man, you gotta give him his props. You gotta give him his respect. But man, on the mic, Luger never, in my opinion, man, Luger never had it on the mic. He just didn't, man. You know. But
No.
but as far as the match itself goes,
this was incredible. And Brian Pillman just kept, Brian Pillman's fresh, new in, and
House of Fire,
my
man.
God.
So good.
I don't know why a lot of people don't talk about this match more.
It was so good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of those. I'm not gonna lie, Mike, because I watched this over the week. I watched it actually a couple of times. I was kind of down, man. I had a little health issue this week, so I had a little downtime. So I watched this show a couple times, and man, I would kind of watch it a little bit, and then I'd go back and forth. I'd be doing some other stuff. This match, I had to stop everything and just watch it, man. And it was that good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so good.
Everything about this match was on point. Yeah. And Pillman at that time was doing stuff that a lot of the guys now are doing.
Right.
That you see in commonplace.
But back then
you didn't
all the high flying stuff, like coming off the ropes, all the stuff.
Middle ropes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
You don't see that stuff.
No.
I mean, you see it all the time now,
Yeah.
but back then you didn't see
No.
it, and that's why he was called Flying Brian, because he would fly.
And that was a good pickup by WCW.
Absolutely.
To get Brian Pillman at that time out of Calgary.
Yes.
A lot of those Calgary guys were going, WWF.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bret Hart, Jim the Anvil, the Bulldogs. I mean, Owen. Goes on and on. All the Stampede guys.
Yeah.
We're going because I think if I'm not mistaken, Stampede and WWF had a relationship.
Yep.
I think Tony.
Yeah.
Had something was involved in that as well, and I know obviously Stu
Tony
Hart.
was in Maple Leaf.
Maple Leaf,
Yeah,
that's what I
Maple
got.
Leaf
Okay, I got that confused with
Yeah.
Stampede. Okay, well,
But
Canadian Maple Leaf,
They did have a working deal with working deal.
Right.
I'm doing quotation
Quote
fingers on
unquote.
that, but with Stampede as well.
But yeah, man.
But yeah, for them to get Pillman, man, that was huge.
And I remember they really worked that angle, him being a former football player,
Yeah.
Cincinnati Bengals, and just how he had to drop weight once again. Once again, you've
Yeah.
got to give it up to those commentators,
Yeah.
the unsung heroes of professional wrestling have always been these commentators. And man, when they're putting their spin on it and you're seeing the action in the ring play out, damn, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, how does it get any better? And when you got, once again, I admit I never considered Luger to be one of the best wrestlers. Not really. But then again, I'm really starting to change my opinion on that. The more I go back and watch some of his older matches, I'm like, will he ever be considered a technician? No.
Right.
Should he be? Probably not. But could that motherfucker work
Yeah.
with who he was given? And
Yeah.
I always figured it was the other person that
Yeah.
really kind of steers him along.
Uh-huh.
But man, he would allow himself.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Do you have to be led? Sure. Will you be led?
Yes.
That's the question. And Luger would be led.
Yeah.
I mean, look at him and Nikita.
Wow.
I mean, man, on paper that should
Still
stink
those-
up the
Oh
joint.
yeah.
On paper, oh man,
No.
that's gonna bomb, man. Put that on third match.
Yeah.
In real life,
Yeah.
it would set
That
the
was
place
good.
on fire,
Yeah.
man. Just like this match,
That's right.
set the place on fire.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, damn near perfect match for
Yeah.
those styles.
Luger goes over.
Right, retains the championship.
Yeah. But God, this is absolutely great match. Yeah. This one, I would say, to me, gosh, it was pushing, man. I would have said 5 on this.
I give it a
one.
5.
Yeah.
I give it a straight up
For
5,
sure.
man. It had everything I want. It
Yeah.
had everything I want in a match,
Yeah.
dude. Everything.
Yeah.
I give it a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess with our rating system, man, I mean, I think we can be a little liberal with 5s, because it wasn't a Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, Iron Man match.
Right.
No, I
No.
give that a 5,
Yeah.
obviously, but
This had me the whole way
me
through.
too, brother. Me too.
From beginning to end, this one had me.
Captivated.
Yeah.
Once again, I give it match of the night.
Yeah.
I really do. I give it 5 stars.
Yeah.
Your 5 whatevers, and yeah, man, yeah, definitely match of the night, especially when you have Luger in there.
Yeah.
Because I'm still kind of got that prejudice of against Lex Luger. My first thought is like,
Right.
oh god, it's gonna stink up the joint at Lex Luger. No, man.
Yeah.
And the older I get, and the more I go back and watch these videos, the more I realize how wrong I've been
Right.
about Luger.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, maybe
Well,
it's
that's
just
the
all the
fun
heat
part.
I had.
Well, that's the fun part about going back and seeing all this stuff, kind of the stuff you missed, little bits here and there.
Or use a mark,
An
a
opinion,
bigger mark.
an opinion you had on a match or a wrestler at that time, and could completely changed by now.
Because you've gotten older, man. You've been, us, we've been on the inside of it, but there's still smart marks out there. You don't have to be involved in the wrestling scene to know what's really going on. Absolutely, man. In other words, you get a new respect for it.
Yes.
And for these workers and some of these guys, like Luger, prime example.
Yes.
Dude, if you would have told me when I was a kid that my biggest beef with the WWF Hall of Fame right now is that Lex Luger's not in it.
Right.
Yeah, I was being like, you're crazy. And I'll tell you somebody else that needs to be in the Hall of Fame. You heard it here first. Bill Apter. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
We need to do a Hall of Fame episode.
Well, we do.
We really do.
I have
Our
one,
Hall of Fame.
I have number one. That should be in there.
Let's
that
see
should have been in there. Wahoo.
Absolutely. Well, damn, man. Well, there's our podcast right there for the Hall of Fame one, man. Our Fantasy Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Wahoo, Bill Apter, and Lex Luger, man. That's a good first class.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's for another time. Yeah, fantastic, man.
God,
Match of the night.
fantastic.
Match of the night, man.
All right.
Speaking of hard hitters.
Holy moly. Now,
Hard
this
hitters.
one, I know a lot of people were waiting for.
Yes. This was a big deal.
This was a huge deal. This was a big match. Okay, well, let's talk about that first before I forget. With the exception of the tag titles and the U.S. title, there were no titles.
This was it.
That was it.
This was
Those
it,
are
man.
the only two titles on the line that night.
Right. Because Flair was in the main event and
Yes.
everything. Right.
All right. This match, another tag team match. And this is tag team heavy.
Bro.
Heavy show,
It was.
too.
It was.
The Road Warriors.
My
with
favorite.
Paul Ellering.
My favorite of all time. Favorite
Um,
tag team.
Going up against the Skyscrapers.
Um,
Danny Spivey, Sid Vicious, with
Teddy Long. That's where I got
Theodore
my...
Long, Teddy Long,
Yes.
player, get me a tag team match going.
And brother, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit now. I think everything that can be said about the Road Warriors has been said.
Yes.
Greatest of all time, in my opinion, man.
Right.
They were my all-time favorite. Dude, the last time I went trick-or-treating for Halloween, I was Animal.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last
I
trick-or-treating
think
I did.
the last one I did was Hawk.
Damn,
Yeah.
dude, we should have went together.
I know.
That'd been the shit. We'd have to split the candy, though.
Yeah. There you go.
But,
Yeah. Yeah.
But nah, man, I love the Road Warriors. I think they are universally known to be the greatest of all
Yes.
time. They were definitely one of the most innovative
Yeah.
with the paint and the hair and everything. They were the first to do that stuff. So I don't know how much more we could speak on the Road Warriors. Obviously, we could, but let's talk a little bit about those Skyscrapers, man.
Dude.
What the
At
heck,
this time,
Bruh.
this was the biggest
Bruh.
tag team ever.
dude? The only team that really made you wonder about the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Because they
overpowered the Road Warriors.
they were taller.
Bigger.
Bigger.
More muscular. Some would say stronger.
Yeah.
Sid Vicious, Dan Spivey. What can be said about
Yeah.
these guys, man?
So this is the only time to this point that the Road Warriors were facing somebody that was
they were
much-
underdogs.
Yeah, they were underdogs in this match.
The first time
Yeah.
ever.
Yes.
And I love, once again, man, you got to give it up to Gordon Soley. He's in the back interview, and he was like, you guys are the underdogs. And Hawk's like, we've always been the underdogs. Loved Hawk's promos.
Yes.
Loved Animal's promos, but there was something about Hawk.
I know.
He
put it out there.
I can't put him over
Yeah.
enough, man. I
Yeah.
can't put over the Road Warriors and Paul Ellering enough.
Right.
And Hawk was just when he was like, we've always been underdogs from the streets, and I'm like, holy shit, I've never really even heard that. Even as an adult,
Yeah.
going back, I'm like, wow, I don't remember him saying that when I was a kid. And I
Right.
don't remember that ever being.
Because they were the biggest, they were the baddest.
They were steamrolling people,
Yes.
man. Dude, when you have Ole and Arn or Tully and Arn
Mhm.
being underdogs,
Yeah.
that tells you something,
Yeah.
man. That tells you something.
Yeah.
And when you have the Road Warriors,
Oh.
who are now the underdogs, and this whole thing got flipped on its head,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
bro, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And you have a newly healed Theodore Arlong. I loved him when he was a referee and did that turn, because it was against the
Oh,
Road
yeah.
Warriors with the fast count.
Yeah.
So the Road Warriors already had beef with Teddy Long anyway.
Yeah.
And, man, you put him with the Skyscrapers. Dude, once again, Dan
Yep.
Spivey. You know how I feel about Dan Spivey.
Yeah.
I'm probably one of the biggest Dan Spivey marks that have ever walked the face of the earth, man. I loved Waylon Mercy. We'll talk about Waylon Mercy at some other point. But together with Psycho Sid Vicious, who will obviously go on to become Psycho
Yeah.
Sid, who was on our scary wrestler list,
Right. Yeah,
for
exactly.
damn good reason. He doesn't have a gimmick, man. It's just him. He is scary. Dan Spivey is scary.
Yes.
You have Theodore Arlone being the brains behind the brawn who can actually match Paul Ellering's intelligence. On paper, how's this not supposed to just be the hot
Right.
shit, man?
Yeah.
I mean, so what was your take on the match? I thought it was a great match, man.
It was a great match.
Hard-hitting.
Another hard-hitting
one.
match from
Yes.
a huge dual team. That was just, it was nonstop, just hit hard.
I mean, just pounding. Man.
I think with the DQ at the end, that was the only way you were going to do this match.
That's the only way, man. That's
to
it.
get everybody out.
Yeah, because you can't really. You can't have anybody go over clean in this one,
No.
And it was the
There's
Road
no way.
Warriors who got over,
Right.
on them
Yeah.
through the
'Cause
DQ.
Teddy Long interfered, hit Animal with the key.
It was the Animal,
Yeah.
with the big. What do they call that key? They had a word for the big brass key or something.
I forget what that was about.
I think it had something to do with maybe not the Thunderdome. That was the main event, but
Yeah.
there was a key involved.
Yeah.
And he was rocking
I
this
forget
key
what
in
the
an
gimmick-
angle, and they
gimmick
had
was
like a
on
little
that.
name for it or something. But once again, man, these
Dude.
guys
Yeah.
just put it all out. And I'll tell you something else that I really enjoyed about this match was just how pro Road Warrior the crowd was.
Yes.
Because, man, the Road Warriors are still the babies.
Yep.
The crowd for a Philadelphia crowd was pretty pro babyface other than the Dynamic Dudes.
Yeah.
That was really the only match
That's true.
where they really switched the script, you
Yeah.
know. But, yeah, man, once again,
Oh yeah.
solid match.
Yeah.
I don't give it a 5
No.
per se. I won't give it a 5. But I will give it a solid 4, man. I do. I'll give it a 4. Definitely above average.
I would say I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
And that's a solid 3.
Damn, dude, am I being
because-
generous or are you not being generous?
I'm being a little tough today.
I think you've been a little bit of a hard ass, Mike Payne.
bit.
Pudworth's oversleeping kind of pissed you off a little
Just being
bit, I
a
think,
dick.
man.
It's being a dude. But no, I give it a solid 3. Of course, ducking out with the finish that they did. Of course, I see
They had to do
why
it,
they had
man.
to do
They
it.
had
But
to.
no,
It
it's
didn't
still
blow it
ducking
off.
out with the yeah.
They didn't
Yeah.
blow off, man.
Yeah.
Yep. And I get that. I get that. Now I'm thinking, I'm gonna keep my 4.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely one of those things, man. It's like, well, do we go with the finish we need,
Right.
or do we blow this thing off?
Yeah.
And the pay-per-views are supposed to be the blow-offs,
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. But
Yeah.
once again, man, you can't take nothing away from this match. I mean,
No.
just as far. And, you got to give it up to Sid. Once again, Sid's another one of those guys. I'm like, is he going to be ever
Right.
considered a technician? No, obviously not.
Yeah.
But, man, you got to give him his props, See, Spivey to me was always damn near the quote-unquote, no pun intended, total package.
Yeah.
Because he had the size, he had the speed, he had that look, and he had the work ethic, man.
Yeah.
He had the work rate.
Right.
And I'm not saying the other guys didn't have the ethic, but he definitely had that work
Yeah.
rate. He could get in there and work with. Hell, he was in the varsity fucking club,
Yeah.
man. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
How much more credentials do
Exactly.
you need? Man, if you were in the varsity club, you could wrestle.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, solid
You ever
match.
say what college Spivey came from in that varsity club deal?
I don't think they. Oh, they did, man. I know they did. Hey, can you look that up, Husworth? What college Dan Spivey was in for the varsity club? I know he did. I can see it in my mind's eye, but I can't remember where it was. Probably wherever Waylon Mercy was from.
Florida.
It might be. It actually might be.
Dressed in Florida.
Was it Florida? Was
Yeah.
it Florida Puds? Yeah, was it? Okay. All right, there you go, man. There you go. But yeah, good match, man.
Yeah.
Solid match.
Yeah.
Solid match. Like I said, dude. Yeah, solid. But what about this main event, bro?
Let's talk about this main event. The Thunderdome match.
Yes, the electrified.
Electrified, big cage, huge deal. Looks like something out of a Mad Max movie.
Which is exactly what they were going for,
Yeah.
brother. Thunderdome.
Right.
The only way to win this match is your second or your Terminator.
And Terminator.
Terminator,
Yes.
as you're referred to,
Yeah.
has to throw in the towel.
Yes.
And the Terminator. Well, let's talk about the participants in the
Yes.
matches and all that.
Okay. Well, we had the Great Muta
Very, very great Muta.
and Terry Funk,
The great Terry Funk.
along with Gary Hart.
Gary Hart, yes, sir.
Incredible. I love Gary Hart.
Gary Hart was so
Everything
great, man.
Gary Hart did was
Just
incredible.
gold. It was
Yeah.
golden, man. J-Tex. The J-Tex
J-Tex
Incorporation. Corporation, yes. Such good, man. I love the J-Tex angle, man.
Yeah.
I thought that was the perfect way to come out of a Horseman era.
Yeah.
To go into that J-Tex stuff.
Yeah.
With Texas, of course, being Funk, the J for Japan, Great Muta.
And they would have other players involved. I think they debuted Mr. J, who they called Mr. J, that night. The Dragon Master.
Oh, okay.
Dragon Master, I think, made his debut that night. Yeah. And there was also another member of the J-Tex Corporation, and we're going to talk about him later, too. It'll be Dirty Dick Slater.
Dick Slater. Which,
that's right.
You know, let's go ahead and put a little word out about Dick, man. We lost him this week.
Yes.
Apparently, Dick Slater been sick for a while. Yeah. I didn't know that either. I wasn't aware. It's funny, you know, because just a little behind the curtain once again. Me and Mike just got our schedule set up till really the end of the year, and we have a Dick Slater show actually scheduled for here in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
and
in November, we were just talking about that last week.
Just last week,
before we found out, and it was like, wow, yeah. Of course, you see it on Facebook, and you say, okay, you know,
is it real?
Is it real?
Is it real? Is it a work?
Knee jerk on that,
right? And unfortunately. Yeah. And, you know, this episode, you know, will be dedicated to the memory of Dick Slater, who was, you know, somebody who I'm looking forward to learning more about, Mike. You know,
hero of mine for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's our next spotlight is going to be on Dirty Dick Slater coming up soon, coming up in the next few weeks. So that's sad news, brother. That was, like I said, I'm really looking forward to learning more about Dick Slater. I really am. And once again, you know, I talked last week how you're the man with horror, how we had the Reverend Doctor who knows his conspiracy theories. Wayne Sisk obviously, you know, knows music and Warren Zevon. Dick Slater, we have Mike Payne. You know, and I cannot wait for that show. And just want to give a little shout out to Dick Slater and our condolences. And, and the wrestling world really, really, truly lost a great man.
Absolutely.
For real.
Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, he was definitely a part of that J-Tex Corporation.
See, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't recall that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You saw most of what he did was on TV.
Gotcha.
He wasn't involved in any of the pay-per-views.
I got you.
So it was all on TV, and I think he was involved in the infamous spot with Terry Funk, where Terry Funk had put a plastic bag over Flair's head.
Yeah. That was
suffocation spot.
That was a real thing, man. That was like for real.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was like, what the
huge.
Yeah, dude. I thought Ric Flair was really going to die.
Yeah.
I mean,
Terry Funk is crazy.
And let me say something else about Terry Funk.
Yes.
For whatever reason, obviously, I've always been a huge fan of Terry Funk. But for whatever reason, I never considered Terry Funk to be like the most athletic. Let's put it like that. You know, for whatever reason. Now I got a point. I do got a point.
Okay.
Man, that son of a bitch was in tremendous
He was
shape.
jacked the hell up.
Oh my God, Mike, bro. He looked like a fucking underwear model.
He was flexing out, son.
I'm talking cut, man.
He was.
Jesus.
Dude.
I didn't know Terry Funk was ever in shape like that, man. Dude, for whatever reason, I guess maybe because...
Roadhouse, son.
I think it was Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Swear to God, man. Because that was roughly around about that time, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it like a little after? It was after the filming. Man, he come out with no shirt on. I was like, God damn, Terry Funk.
Was flexing
This
it out,
motherfucker been in the gym, bro. Yeah. Props, man.
Yeah.
I just, man, abs for days, dude. Like I said, man, he looked like a fucking underwear model.
Yep.
I was like, damn, Terry Funk. And that just tripped me out because I never considered him to be one of the cut bodybuilder types, man. But this show, dude, I mean, he had Tom Zenk on fucking, you know, he had him on, you know. He was like, you better look out.
Yep.
Because Terry Funk's over here flexing like Lex, man. Yeah. But props, man.
Yeah.
Mad props.
So I'm guessing he's in his 40s at this point.
Probably early 40s, I would think, man. Because, you know, back in our day, we thought he was older. But now that we're in our 40s, we can look back and we'd be like, nah, man, he was probably early 40s. Maybe 43, give or take. Yeah. Now, Puzzler, are you guessing or are you looking that up, brother?
What year was he
That's
born?
upside down, brother.
I'm sorry, he was 44 because he was born 1944.
So if he was in 44, man, that would have made him 45. He'd been in his mid-40s at this time.
Yeah, that
damn,
works.
Puzzler showing the shit upside down, man.
Oh, hell.
Man, Puzzler, damn, you ever sleep one day?
Yeah, projector. Projector with a calculator.
Yeah, no, we do need a calculator.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be a test.
No, I didn't either.
I didn't know
A
there
lot
was a
of
quiz.
numbers floating around in here.
Goddamn, man. Goddamn, I'm off today. Well, what'd you think about the match, man?
I thought the match was just a crazy, just everywhere. Just
Chaos.
It was. I thought it was what it was supposed to be. You had Terry
Yeah.
Funk in there. Of course, they're fighting Sting and Ric
And
Flair.
we ought to mention that, you know, and you
No,
have
it's just Muta and Terry Funk just running around the cage all crazy.
which I would pay for that.
Yeah, I'd still watch.
I'd pay for that.
Let me tell you what, when they're bringing this cage down, okay, and the top of the cage catches on fire.
Fire, yeah.
Yes,
It
because it's
literally-
supposed to be electrified,
yeah.
up around the top. And
It
and
really
there's a
did.
piece of this crap that they've thrown over this cage. Whoever thought this was going to be a great idea, okay, let's throw.
Jim Hurt ain't even here yet, bro.
I think he's here.
Oh, there you go.
There
it is.
Whoever threw fabric over the live electrical wires. Yeah, that's yeah.
They,
So Tommy Young is
They missed that
scrambling
Dave
up
Owens
this
thing.
cage to beat this fire out.
right.
Referee Tommy Young.
Tommy Young to the rescue
God
once
bless
again.
him.
To the rescue.
But then Muta climbs up the
It's
cage
missed.
and
He
and sprays
missed
the
it.
mist at the fire. This is pops, man.
Dude.
This is great.
It's awesome. I mean, it really, and even
Yeah.
the commentators like, hey, Muta will get it out.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah. He brought his own fire extinguisher.
Yeah, and he does the green mist on him.
Yeah.
You can't write that stuff,
No,
man.
dude.
You
No.
can't write this
This is
stuff.
level
That's great.
crazy that they're working with.
It's wonderful, man.
Yeah,
It's great.
absolutely. But Flair and Sting have Ole Anderson as
Yes.
their Terminator.
Right.
So Ole's back, but Orange's not back yet.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Brainbusters are still going
Yeah.
on at
Yeah.
this point. Yeah.
But he's on his way back.
Right.
At any rate, this is just a wild ass
It's crazy,
match.
man.
It starts out as a tag team match. Where
Texas
they're actually
Tornado
making,
rules.
no,
Oh, that's
they're
right.
actually
Yeah,
making-
right.
They're actually making tags.
Right.
I don't know why.
And then
I'm not
it
even
breaks
sure.
down.
Then it breaks down, and because there are no pinfalls, there are no
You
submissions.
have to throw in the towel.
Terminator has to throw in the towel,
Right.
and special referee is
Bruno.
WWF, WWF, WWF champion Bruno Sammartino.
What I loved was how they were trying to justify him being there, and this like anything goes kind of
Anything
match.
goes.
Well, I'm there, for when they throw in the towel.
Throw in the towel.
That was basically all it was for, man.
I am there to see that they throw in the towel.
And that was it. Because they're like, why are you here, Bruno?
When the towel hits the floor, that's when the match is.
That's why I'm here.
Is the over?
But I give them props, man, for trying to put it over.
Yeah.
Once again, they're trying.
Yeah.
But you didn't need Bruno.
No.
Bruno was
it
absolutely not
It was just a
needed.
name.
It was just somebody
Yeah.
to bring in.
In Philadelphia, no less. But yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. But to actually try to, dude, I think they should have just had an interview with him and not even try to bring up why you're there. Just say,
Right.
hey, we're here, to introduce Bruno. He's going to be in the main event.
Hey.
That's all you need to know.
What's
Don't
up?
ask any more questions.
Yeah.
Done.
But yeah. You don't even need. You just see the. Well, we'll get to that finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just a damn crazy match.
I mean, but it's entertaining. It's entertaining.
Right.
And it's good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really a great. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the match even as a kid, and I enjoyed it. Now.
Here's the thing, and I love Funk's interview, his promo beforehand, when he's talking about there was going to be like a new dance in Philadelphia.
Oh, the chicken.
No, it's going to be called the electric boogaloo.
But he says something
No,
about
the electric boogie.
Yeah. But he says something about
The electric boogie, and then there was going to be fried chicken.
chicken. That was
later.
it. Fried chicken. That was it.
Called Flair chicken.
Because of his big nose.
Yeah.
He said,
I hate you.
I loved it, man.
I hate you.
Hey, man, you got to give it props, dude, because that was hilarious. They're going to have fried chicken, and it's going to be
They're gonna
Nature
have
Boy.
Fried chicken. Oh my God!
I
Some
love
of
it.
his promos on Flair at that time were just
Gold.
unreal.
Golden. Two masters.
He called him Old Yeller.
Yes. Yeah. But I just remember you always called him a chicken because of his
Yeah.
big beak. I remember you say, "You in that big beak of yours, Ric Flair, you look like
you got a
chicken.
yellow streak down your back.
I'm gonna pluck them feathers, and everybody's gonna see your yellow streak and your big chicken nose and beak."
God.
I loved it, man.
Yeah.
That was good stuff,
It
bro.
was.
That was
It
great,
was.
great
It was
stuff.
nuts. God. But I was under the impression whenever I first saw this thing that the whole cage was going to be electrified.
No, it's just the top.
Just the top.
It's just the top, so you can't try to climb out.
And they only did one spot with
just
Muta.
that one. Yep.
Where you kind of touch it.
And that was
like,
it.
Oh, yeah, shot. They didn't even show it, really.
No.
You couldn't even see it happening. But
The commentator's putting it over, obviously.
But then he climbs all the way up into it, the
Yeah.
top of it, and nothing ever happens.
No.
This is just a one-shot deal.
Literally one
Yeah.
shot.
Or, or they turn the damn thing off and say, "Oh, this damn thing's gonna catch on fire."
For real, like he
Everything's
did.
gonna catch on
yeah.
fire. Let's turn this damn thing off.
Bad idea, man.
Yeah.
Good concept on paper,
Yeah. But Funk, during this whole thing, I remember one spot with Flair and Funk, and Funk's caught in the cage with his legs, and he's turned upside down. He's got this huge snot boogie just hanging out of his nose. It's like, oh my God.
Hell, that's enough to make you tap out right there. Somebody throwing the towel where he can wipe his fucking nose, man.
It was just nuts, man. It was insane. It was just
chaotic.
It was hard hitting,
But
and it was just all over the
it
place.
was entertaining, man.
Yeah,
It was
and
entertaining.
you got Flair swinging on a rope,
Yeah.
and from hitting Funk, and Sting swinging on a rope, kicking everybody, and crotching himself, and it's crazy.
But and you got to give props to the four guys in there too, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
I don't know if you could have done that with any other
No.
guys, especially somebody. Dude, to me, this was Terry Funk's greatest environment, man. He could just be him.
Yeah,
And he was.
and I think that was the thing where, it is definitely out of Flair's element.
Oh
But,
yeah.
He kind of adapted to it.
Well, Flair's just so great, man.
Yeah.
He can do anything.
He can.
You know?
Definitely out of his element as far as that goes. But yeah, Funk is in his element. And I think Sting and Muta, and I'll say this again, as far as the talent pool in WCW
So
at
strong,
that time,
man.
they're huge.
So strong.
And Sting and Muta, for working together, especially Muta, who was very limited on his English anyway.
True. Right.
They were the perfect match.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And, just kind of, Sting's another one that maybe we don't give enough props to as far as being versatile. And, he was also one of those guys that's like, well, he's a big body guy. He's more into the show and not as much into the mat.
Right.
But really, dude, he could go.
He could go.
Look at him and Flair. I mean, God.
Him and Flair, him and Vader.
Vader. Oh, yeah, dude.
Is
Yeah,
still, I think
yeah,
it's
man.
one of his greatest feuds ever.
That stuff with Vader was tremendous,
Yeah.
man. I mean, everything I think Sting ever really did. I can even look at him and Dusty when they were going against the Road Warriors. That was
good
something that I
stuff.
thought was
Yeah.
tremendous. That's when I became a big Sting fan.
Yeah.
Was during that era.
Yeah.
And the stuff he did with Flair, once again, you just
Yeah.
can't put it over enough.
Exactly.
And then when him and Flair as the baby faces in this match, it worked.
Yeah.
It really worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, the match itself, not match of the night.
No,
Definitely not match of the night.
It was definitely an attraction.
Oh, maybe one of the greater attractions of
Yeah.
that era.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Since like War Games.
Yes,
Yeah,
I absolutely.
say.
And I'll even maybe put it a step above War Games simply because it's got Terry Funk in there,
Ooh,
man.
Yeah, that's tough.
But
tough.
I give
Yeah.
and I was a huge War
Terry's
Games
great.
mark.
God.
But man, Funk in this Thunderdome, it was like peanut butter and jelly, bro.
Yeah.
And you put Flair and Sting and Muta with, to me, Funk was really the
Yeah.
star of this match. I mean, and that's saying a lot, bro.
Well,
That's saying a lot.
oh yeah, for sure. But let's talk about the finish, shall we?
All right, yes.
I'm not big on the finish.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say once again.
Of course, Sting and Flair's got Funk in the figure four, and Sting's doing the splashes off the top rope.
Right.
And Muta actually takes a swing at Bruno, and Bruno decks
Yeah.
Muta out of the ring.
Right.
Of course, that brings in Hart, which brings in Ole.
Yeah.
And then, Hart's not going to give this thing up.
Right.
So Ole punches Hart, which sends
Sends
the
the
towel
towel,
flying right onto Bruno. Bruno sees the towel,
Calls the match. Yep.
Not big on that finish.
No, because it never really showed him giving up. And one thing that, once again, Mike, if you're noticing a theme.
See, you could save them with Funk and Muta by having Hart give up because this is his money.
And that's what I was just about to bring up,
and
man.
Still save face with the guys.
Yes, because Bob Caudle brought that up several times in the match. He was like, yes, Gary Hart is ruthless, but he doesn't want to see his meal tickets get hurt.
Right.
Because if Terry Funk and the Great Muta get injured, he doesn't get paid anymore.
Exactly.
Whereas Flair and Sting and Ole were all their own individuals, man. In other words, it wasn't going to hurt Ole's pocketbook if Sting or Flair got hurt.
Right.
I love that psychology. Once again, man, the common theme of this show to me was the commentators, just how overlooked they've been putting these angles over.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. Or, because a little side note, I actually kind of borrowed that finish for a match in the MWF years ago.
Right.
I took that, but I switched up the finish to where the other teams, I guess Terminator or the towel guy, threatened me.
Right,
so I did it because I was a pussy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't beat me up here. I'll let
right.
my team lose and just don't beat me up.
Yeah.
I think something like that would have been better.
Yeah.
I was not.
For sure.
I'm like you, Mike. It was a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
I do see why they did it, and I do see how psychologically speaking why it did work.
Yeah.
But once again, a little bit of a letdown, especially with how that match was going, man. That match was just balls to the wall.
I definitely think he could have had Hart throwing that towel on his own.
Yes.
Yeah.
In other words, man, there were options.
Yeah.
Which this option was one as well. But what they did do was, obviously
it was definitely an option. I think it was the lesser of the options.
I think so. I think so. But man, all in all, and I'll give this match, I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because of the chaos. Once again, the finish could have went a little bit better. But just given who was in this match, just given all the craziness, man. It was balls to the wall, fun, just entertaining. You seen 4 masters, well, really 6 if you count Hart and Anderson.
Yeah.
At the top of their game, you have the commentators on point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I give it a solid 4. Man.
Yeah,
solid
for sure.
4.
Definitely 4 out of 5.
So let me ask you, Mike, what would you give the whole show?
Well, I tell you, let me ask you, what did you think about that cage?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, man, it was a little Hell in the Cell-ish too.
We had never seen a cage like that in the NWA.
Right.
We'd always had the fencing, the regular fence cages.
Right.
And any other cage we're used to seeing, like the blue
WWF,
steel,
right.
in the WWF. So this was definitely a different one.
Yes.
For that, but I don't think they ever brought it back until I want to say 93 or 94.
I'm not sure, man. I don't know.
And I think that was a Sting. I want to say it was Sting Invader, not Sting Invader, Flair Invader.
I'm not sure. Man, about that time in WCW, I was a little out of touch with WCW.
Really?
I was more of a WWF guy at that time.
I recommend that match.
I may go back and check that now.
And Bossman is actually doing he's taking Bruno's spot.
Oh, okay. He's like the enforcer or whatever. I got you.
Yeah.
I may have to go back and watch it, man, because I know around 94 to 90, well, up until about the time the NWO started in WCW, I was not that big of a fan. Now, I do remember watching some of the Flair, Vader stuff, like the Starrcade match was a classic, man. That was a classic. But all in all, man, I was not a huge WCW fan at this time, man. I just thought that they weren't really... I thought WWF was far superior, because I was a big Shawn Michaels fan. I liked Bret Hart. I liked his matches. Yeah. That was going on. I was still a Hulkamaniac, and that was still kind of going on. But, man, all in all, I give the show a 4.
It is a 4 out of 5. I think a solid 4 out of 5.
Solid, yeah. Damn near a 5, man.
Sure. Yeah.
If you would maybe had a little bit of a different finish,
right.
with the the dynamic dudes, obviously, the Cuban Assassin definitely didn't help and give it any favors.
Yeah.
But all in all, man, I mean, Luger and Pillman.
Oh, God.
I mean, the Road Warriors and the Skyscrapers. I mean, the Steiners and Doom. Come on, man. I mean, hell, man, even Tom Zenk and Mike Rotunda. That really, man, that was a solid as hell match. Yeah. It was a great way to start the show.
That 6-man tag was
hot, man.
Super
hot as balls, man.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, I give it a 4. I mean, I give it a solid 4. And, and I also give it a 5 out of 5 as far as the concept. As being one of the first, themed pay-per-views.
For their first out on a Halloween Havoc, for sure.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I got to give it. I'll give it a 4.
Yeah.
Solid 4 out of 5.
Yep.
Pudsworth, have you watched Halloween Havoc '89 in a while? That's a no.
I was 4 when it was.
Oh shit. So Pudsworth says no.
Because he was 4. when it first came out.
But hey, man, if you get a chance,
Every year after that.
yeah, man, you kind of can't give no excuses, man. I mean, there is a network.
It's on YouTube.
It is on
It's
YouTube,
on the
yes.
network.
Check it out, man. It's a solid show, brother. It is.
Definitely for this season, though.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Definitely for this season.
Oh yeah, man. It's
you know,
definitely
just this Halloween season. You have to watch it.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Well, brother, I tell you
what. You know, and living up to Halloween Havoc, you know, you had the Thunderdome. You know, that was a scary match with scary guys in it.
Yeah, man, and who fit, and you know, it's actually a little bit of a precursor to Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
really, man, it really was. You know, it was once again, you know, it's WWF taking an old idea and putting their own little spin on it, but this was really where it started. You know. Yeah.
And, you know, the Road Warriors and Skyscraper, scary.
God, man.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, you're just talking about four just beasts in here, just beating the shit out. Once again, man, when the Road Warriors are going in as underdogs, Jesus, man, where do you go from there?
Doom was scary.
Oh, hell yeah, man, they were scary. Yeah. Especially when they had the map. Hell, they were scary when you knew who they were. Yeah. You know, I mean, damn, Ron Simmons scares the shit out of me, man, you know, legitimately.
Samoan SWAT team, scary. Dr. Death,
scary. Really. I mean, he's
Cuban assassin, not so scary.
Depends on how you want to define scary.
Not so scary.
Not so much. It scared me a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Tom Zenk, tidy
whities. Scary. Oh my God. Is it Mike Rotundo?
Scary.
Tommy Rich.
Scary. Yeah.
Well, brother, I tell
Oliver
you,
Humperdinck and his big eyes.
Scary. Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner's interview.
Scary.
I don't know, man. Kind of entertaining. Scary. Very scary. Well, brother, I tell you what, man. Before we start wrapping up, man, I do want to give a couple shout-outs and give a few mentions here. My first shout-out, Mike, I want to give is to two people. And it's an extra special shout-out. Hopefully you guys are listening, but I want to give a shout out to Tyler Nicholson and my good friend David Two Dogs Hayes. They're about to have a family member join. Tyler's about to be a first-time father, and David's about to be a first-time grandfather.
Grandfather
in the house, man.
Scary.
What? Back in my day, dude, the first time I met Tyler, he was literally months old. Yeah. I mean, he was like, you know, maybe 6, 7, 8 months old. He was under a year, and now he's about to be a dad. And Two Dogs is about to be Gramps dogs, man. Two Dogs Gramps in the house, man.
Scary.
Very scary. But congratulations to you guys, man.
Pawpaw Scary.
Pawpaw Scary's in the house. Pawpaw Dogs. But yeah, man, I just want to give an extra special shout out to those guys and say congratulations. And while I'm talking about dogs, man, let's go ahead and give a shout out to This Is a Work. They just put a new episode out last week.
Yes, they did.
It's on the Australian Super Show, or what's it called? The Super
Showdown. Super Showdown.
Sounds
Australian.
more like the Super Letdown, from what I'm gathering. But yeah, definitely give those guys a listen. Those guys are having a lot of fun down there, and
hey, maybe the Saudi pay-per-view will pick it back up.
Well, I guess we're getting another women's pay-per-view. It's important, very important. But while we're on the subject of podcasts, I also want to give our friends over at Sweet Feathery Jesus a shout out. E-Man is in the house. Those guys are hilarious, man. Their latest episode had me in tears, brother. I also want to give a shout out to a friend of mine, Garrick Lane, a guy I used to work with. He has his own podcast. It's called Midnight Drive-In.
Yes.
And these guys are reviewing movies. Dude, I'll be honest with you. I hadn't checked them out until yesterday. I had some spare time I put on, and I listened to their episodes back-to-back, the first and second episode. Bro, check this out, man. If you guys are familiar with Midnight Drive-In, check it out. If you're not, I highly, highly recommend it. You can search them on Facebook. I believe they're on Speaker.com. If I'm not mistaken, I don't write shit down. I just don't want to give them a shout out. These guys are amazing. Check them out. And lastly on my list, I got to give a shout out to our friends over at P Ridge Nation, man.
Yes, sir.
The Papa Jack. I know what I'll be listening to today in post-production.
Yeah, babies.
Man, dude, that show, once again, if you are into independent music you cannot absolutely hear anywhere else, good shit, too. I'm not talking whack shit. I'm talking good shit. Check out P Ridge Nation, WTAU. I believe that's right, WTAU.
Yes.
I don't have it in front of me, man. I don't remember shit. But Papa Jack, he hosts it. Once again, that's what I do on Sundays when I do post-production. I put on the show from the night before. Because I go to bed early, I don't get to listen to it live. So I'll check it out. He's also on Speaker. You can also check him out on Facebook. I'll put links up to this stuff today as we put the show
absolutely.
up. I'll make sure to get some links up. But I just want to give you guys a shout out and just shout out to everybody out there that checked us out, man.
Absolutely, man. Thank you to everybody, that's listening and everybody subscribing.
Which we need more.
And sharing.
We need more subscribers, man.
Absolutely.
If you're listening to this and you've not hit that subscribe button yet, then please go do it, guys. Once we get to that 100 subscribers, we are going to do an episode that's going to be historic, man. It's going to be epic. Yeah. You know why? Because it's not about us. It's going to be about you guys. It's going to be about what you guys want to know. It's going to be about what you guys want to say. You want to know something about the Puds, we'll tell you. You want us to know something about you, tell us.
Right.
But we're not going to be able to do that until we get 54 more subscribers, because as of this morning we were up to 46.
Yes,
we're almost halfway there. Hey man, a couple weeks ago we were only a quarter of a way there.
You know,
now we're almost half, brother. We're getting there, but only you Puds out there in Pudville can do it, man. Please. Only y'all. I've already subscribed.
Yes,
I've already done it, man. Yeah, me and Mike's done it. You know, Pudsworth, have you subscribed to us? Yes. All right, man. Well, I mean, then we've done everything we can do.
It's about to get hot in here.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Now if this motherfucker said no,
scary.
Back to Punningham, England with you, Pudsworth.
But to the werewolf.
Going to hook him up with a damn Razorback pig. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Pudsworth, once again, thank you for your help today, brother. We appreciate it, man. You was on point. A little late, but you was on point. Actually, you was on time, man. I was like fucking with you. You were on time. Did ever sleep?
Yeah, we were early.
We were early, man.
Yeah,
we were very early. But anyway, man, is there anything you guys want to say before we head out? Pudsworth, got anything you like to add, brother? Mike, got anything you like to end
I
with?
appreciate everybody, listening and sharing and subscribing. Just, keep it going, man, because if you like it, if you like what we're doing, if you don't like what we're doing, tell us what you don't like about it.
Amen, man. Yeah, let us know, dude. We want all the feedback we can get.
Yes,
man. Positive, negative.
Absolutely. Comment on the videos.
Please. Yes.
Tell us what you think. If you think we're wrong, or you think we're full of shit,
Well, you're right. You're right.
I mean,
you're right.
I mean,
right
for
off
the most
bat.
part. We make no bones about that going into this. We're definitely full of shit.
But tell us how we're full of shit.
If you,
what kind of shit are we full of?
Yeah. Tell us if you like the dynamic dudes, man. Tell us what you like,
and then unfriend me.
Then we'll tell you that you're wrong.
You're wrong. Yeah.
But yeah.
If you like the dynamic dudes, go ahead and unfriend me off social media. But
and if you're Tommy Rich, we're sorry. We're sorry. We're really sorry.
Really, well, I love you, Tommy. I mean, I do, man. I do.
It's a work, brother.
It's all the work. It's all the
work, brother.
It's all the work.
Yeah.
All right, well, guys, enjoyed this one, man. Mike, once again, thanks for opening up the Pudcast for us, bro.
Right on.
Pudsworth, thank you once again for being here and helping us out, brother.
No
thank
problem.
you, man. And I guess until next week, y'all out there in Pudland, y'all have a good one.
Scary.
And not only that, David, I understand we're right at the end of our program.
No, we have got to go.
This has been a great event.
There's some people out there that hate us for this.